You know, Vet, I'm hurt and I'm old. I'm fucking tired. I still don't have no fucking cookies.
Hameen Media Group. Big Ray Hernandez. The Vet, Jamie Williams. This is your Next Level Wrestling Review. And we are NXT.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
Yes, boy!
Boobies. Boobies.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I went downstairs this morning and there was a box there. That box was not the box I was waiting for. No cookies. No snickerdoodles for this guy. It's just a fucking box, a stand for my new MacBook Pro. And, as we do this little introduction gimmick here.
Sorry, I'm late, y'all.
Excuse me, sir.
With the link.
What
Who the hell's
going
that?
on here? I don't know who this is.
Who's talking? Who am I?
We'll do
Who are
this.
you even?
Calm down. Calm down. We'll do the
Trapped in the
introductions.
internet.
Fuck. Hold on. Vet, you know what, Vet? Let me introduce. Well, God damn it. Let me just, ladies and gentlemen,
Hit the music.
it's the Vet, right? Is that how we do it?
Something like that. Yeah.
The Vet.
The song. It's my song.
He's a Rip Rogers guy. The Vet. Vet. Rip Rogers guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who's going to introduce the man that's down below, he is your 14-time internet thumb wrestling virtual champion. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how you can internet wrestle somebody, thumb wrestle somebody virtually, but he's done it. And he's also a Rip Rogers guy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one, the only, the very handsome, well-hung, the Vet Jamie Williams. What's going on, Big Vet?
Oh, yeah, nothing much. Enough about me. Let's get this show on the road.
Man, we're fucking
All right.
speeding through this shit. Hold
Just
on.
got to get this is becoming a pattern here.
You know what? Let's play some real hyped up music here. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that's the hype music. Okay.
Shit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh shit.
our guest today. You've heard this man in MCW. You've heard this man in the NWA. And you heard this man on All In, which is the show that launched AEW. And more importantly than all of that, he is the voice of Derby City Wrestling that basically called all of my matches. We have the great Timmy Baltimore. Timmy, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Man, what an honor. I'm so happy you guys asked me. I came to know of a kind of campaign to get guests on here, and I would have done it in a second. So I don't know if some people were fabbing you. There was some words of some fabbage going on. That's not cool.
Mad favorite,
Who
yo.
knows, right? Who knows? But the second you reached out and just, yeah, I'm game. You guys run a good ship. Ray, you're phenomenal at your job. Vet, brother, you walked into this thing. I said, is that the Vet from DCW, from Army of the Vet? Yeah. So you guys do great work, and I wouldn't just sit down and watch NXT or any wrestling for anybody. I've seen a lot of it.
We hate to ask you.
You've seen them all. Some are just different than others.
It's fucking rough. I tell you. You know, first I got to jump in. Timmy, I absolutely fucking love you with Ben Hameen. I listen to you guys every freaking Monday, or when you jump in doing the AEW gimmick. Love you on the show. I think that you're genuine. You come across really, really smart, and you are smart, and you're handsome. I don't know if you're as well hung as the Vet. Nobody is, but you know what? I heard things about you. Now, with all that being said, there, I I did reach out to Strangler Steve King.
Okay.
Now there's a possibility he might jump in as well.
Okay.
But I got a voicemail from Strangler Steve Sting. Steve, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Steve Sting.
Steve Sting. Well, I don't know if you got the memo. I don't do four-way calls. It's kind of like
who does?
Beneath me. No, just kidding. Of course.
Well,
we'll leave Steve hanging, just like he left my original invite hanging back in September of last year.
I have his voicemail. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Stand by. Let me just put the music down here.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
That's all I got. And
then is he eating during the voicemail?
Sound like he was eating. Vet, do you have your
wait? Right, I had to get the.
Do I have my?
You have your muffins ready, buddy?
Well, so I thought this would be a special occasion because this is our last before the holidays. This is our last show, so we're not gonna have muffins today. But what I did have, just in case this show was really bad, I do have like a little festive holiday cookies. So we might go through this entire rack if the show is the shits, but we'll save that for later.
And you can talk on the microphone while
yes.
eating like that professional did.
Right?
And then I can go in the locker room and punch the Young Bucks. But anyway, if I can be selfish for a second here, and bring this all back to me.
It is the season of giving.
Yes. No, but actually, Timmy, I did want to tell you this. It's okay. So coming to work with HMG has allowed me to, meet a lot of great people like Ray and, Colin and Brandon, my co-host on Impact Attack. Like, I've been able to meet people that I would never otherwise met. All right. But even equally important to that, and almost, I would say more important just for me personally, it allows me to sort of reconnect with the people that I knew from back then. Right now, if I ask you just for a simple series of yes or no answers here, would you say yes or no that you and I had ever like hung out and had a beer or anything like that? Yes or no?
I don't recall that we did.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was like a big gathering. You weren't a go out guy. I don't think.
I wasn't a go out guy, so that would be a no. Would you say? I mean, we were friendly, but we wouldn't say like we were friends. Like we just didn't spend the time. Yes or no?
No.
Hold on, Tom. This is making me uncomfortable. Are you setting him up for like a big?
No. I'm going somewhere with this. This is what I want to say.
I mean, I know nothing of this. I'm just telling you right off the bat, dude.
Right. Okay. Don't worry. No. This is not. It's not gonna be anything bad. Okay. But basically, that was kind of like the story of my time there, because I was a little bit aloof, I would say. Not because of anything like about my personality, like how I wanted to be with other people, but I quickly realized being around wrestlers and in the wrestling business, and you'll totally understand when I say this, I think, like you can't always just be who you want to be, right? You have to read the room and not be a mark and not be whatever. But it starts getting you paranoid about like, well, what can I even do? What can I say to somebody that won't be misconstrued as something? So you basically spend the entire time that you're in the business, in the thick of the business, avoiding heat. You never want to get heat, and you never know where it's going to come from or who. Right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, and it shouldn't have to be like that.
It should not.
But that's what it is. But unfortunately, so for somebody like me, I'm not able to really communicate and connect with the people that I really respected at the time. But being here at HMG now, I can talk to people that I didn't get to talk to before, and I can tell them how much I appreciate them and everything they did. I want to tell you guys a story of just how good this fucking guy was at what he did and continues to be even to this day. I mean, you're still doing stuff, right? But
right.
but just to give you like a little backstory, and I don't think Ray knows this or anything. So, Timmy was the voice of DCW. He was the announcer, and I was like, I'm a student basically. Like this is student on the job. It's like work experience basically, right? So, but Timmy's the announcer. And we have this gimmick, the Army of Two, right? The gimmick was very mysterious in terms of like, the weight and hometowns were classified and things like that. That there was sort of like a whatever the gimmick. So, but I realized, so like it worked out, but I never told Timmy. I never really sat down and explained the things to him. I didn't really tell him about the ideas. I didn't do it because I was just like, well, who the hell am I to say, hey man, hey, we got this thing going. It's kind of like this. And if you could just do this and that, again, trying to avoid the heat, not trying to be like egomaniacal prick or anything like that. What I didn't realize at the time though, is that, an announcer kind of needs to know things. If they're going to tell your story, when you're in the ring, they kind of need to know like what your ideas are and where you're going with them if they're ever going to be able to get you over in any meaningful way.
Them or the booker. Somebody's got to usually talk to us, right?
Right. And so it worked out in the sense that because not that much was known about us, it was basically a shoot. That was the gimmick. But I could have still explained my whole idea, but I never really went up to Baltimore and said like, okay, this is what we're thinking. This is what we're doing. Like we didn't explain anything to you, and you went out there, and every time I would watch our matches back and hear you calling them, it was like, yes, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. This is exactly how you should be calling this gimmick with no help from us. I was thinking like, I'm not going to tell this guy how to do his job, but now looking back, I realize like I really should have, because you wanted that. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want. So, but you were still able to nail it perfectly. So I can only imagine, you over the years, like the stuff that I've watched Empower, I watched All In, and I hear you, well, okay, but still, but I hear you tell these guys stories and stuff, and I can just imagine that. I don't have to imagine anymore what you can do when you have prep, so, God, if you want to talk about an unsung, unappreciated person in this business, while you've got a parade of department store mannequins that get to be on national television every multiple times a week, man, Ray and I are blessed to be sitting here talking to you right now, not the other way around. We are just like that. That's what I think of you. And that's the kind of things that I have to tell you now because I couldn't tell you then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, man, that's really. Go ahead, Ray. I'm sorry.
Yeah, before you even jump in, Timmy, and I said this to Vet off the air before I knew you were coming on, and this isn't like a. How can I put this? You know what? I'll just be straight up. Out of all the people that I've worked with on this platform, I was looking forward to working with you the most, and the reason is because you are what I always wanted to do. My father was a professional wrestler in the ring, but I always fell in love with the backstage announcers, the characters, the guys that put over the talent and stuff like that. I really love that. I thought there was such an artistry in that part of the business, and if I were ever to get in the business, or if I ever did anything in the business, I would want to be like Timmy Baltimore. And I've always appreciated your work so much. And then when I found out that you were coming on, and I noticed that you were doing more and more stuff with us, I was like, oh shit, I gotta work with this guy. I can't wait till this guy. And then Vet tells me, he gives me a list of people that we're gonna be bringing on the show, and he mentioned you, and I'm like, oh shit, this is like the guy that does the thing that I've always wanted to do, and he does it better than anyone else. And I'm being very sincere with you. Yeah, there are people that have bigger platforms on television, like Vet was explaining, the mannequins just kind of saying the same shit every single week, and it's annoying, and it's boring, and you are absolutely the opposite of that. You're entertaining, you're creative, you're fun, you're funny, you're very smart. So this isn't what I was going to say in the beginning. This isn't a put over Timmy thing. This is something coming, I think, sincerely from the both of us, because I did tell the vet I was really looking forward to having you on. That's why when I made the thumbnail, I wanted to make sure that it was real cool, and I got the cool picture of you with the fucking gimmick around your neck. You know, it looked wonderful. Very, very happy that you're on with us, man. And I'm so looking. You know what, Colin? Hold on, Colin. Put this. We have this guy, Colin. He's a real jerk off. You know,
Hey,
This guy
Colin.
Yeah,
is
you
son
could give
of
him
a
a
bitch.
timeout.
I could
no
give him
big
a
deal
timeout.
to do that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not-
here's the
I'm not
thing,
going
Ray.
to. But thank you, buddy.
Ray can throw fists, unlike Sean Ross Sappy.
Well, apparently, Sean Ross Sapp is a fifth degree ninjutsu black belt or something.
Show me.
I don't see that. But anyway, so I just wanted to get that off my chest. I didn't know the vet was going to do that, because the vet, I mean, you know, the vet doesn't put anyone over.
But do I know the vet?
Exactly.
That's the
Does anyone? And I
Does
want to
anyone-
change that now. So
Yeah. Damn, y'all. I mean, if this is just a put over segment and bullshit, don't tell me. That was wonderful. That was
Nah, bro.
beautiful. First vet, like, I hear that from you, and I totally get it. And it makes me, like, it hurts me a little inside, because number one, there's a few things I should have done. I should have reached out more. Sadly, that environment that I was in was very much, I got to get a deal. That's all that matters. Get a deal, get a deal, get a deal, get a deal. How am I going to get a deal? I'm got to become the best announcer I can. And being the best announcer I could, I should have gone to each of the talent and said, what's the deal? I absolutely should have. And I apologize for that. And even more so as a human, I should have sensed that maybe there's, you know, some people you can tell there's that apprehension of, if I don't say anything, then I can't get heat. Number one, that's not even true.
no, you learn the lesson that there is no avoiding the heat. It's just where it's gonna, you know, how much you're gonna get and from who. That's it.
Right. And the lesson there is, like, you got to be yourself. Unless you're a complete asshole, the world will let you know. But you got to be yourself, because you can't succeed any other way. I'm sure you have days where you go, man, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done this. And I just, like, there was a time when same way, like, I got into this thing and I was like, damn, everybody's really petty and angry. And like, what is this shit? Sorry, can I cuss? Sorry, I'll try not to.
Yes.
What is this stuff? And then I became very good because I'm disabled, right? So I know how to walk into the room, everybody looks, and I know how to make them look at something else. And by doing that, it's kind of like kill them with charisma, overcome them with being funny or whatever, that you're kind of accepted. And that's kind of how it went for me. I also wasn't a threat to anyone else. Everybody loved Timmy because Timmy wasn't in their airspace. You know, I wasn't a wrestler. I wasn't a body guy. I wasn't I didn't bump and feed. You know what I mean? I was a commentator. Dean Hill was 80 years old. Kenny Bolin is 800 pounds. You know what I mean? I'm not a threat. And that's a real fact. That's why a lot of these relationships went and maintained, because I wasn't a threat. And I really, like, in retrospect, I wish I had come up to you, had more conversation, seen what was going on in your head, because you were such a nice guy, man, and you worked really hard. And that's on me too. Don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself about that, because a lot of these people were assholes. You're gonna get heat no matter what you did. Mm-hmm. So it might as well be for being yourself, right? Yeah. For the things that matter. Right. But you were I never had a side word to say about you. You were always just a hard worker, nice guy. You meant business when you're in there. You took it seriously. And for someone to not be valued when they do that, or to feel like you're not valued, or to feel like you have to hold back, that's not right. That's the culture, man. It's toxic. Yeah. Plain and simple. Big Ray, I didn't know that about you, that you were wanting to be a commentator and things like that. First of all, not too late. And Yeah, but it's not. It's not. Second of all, I just didn't know. I didn't know you felt that way. Like, I really appreciate that because
Ben knows he just doesn't have any feelings.
yeah, no, he's
He has no.
no, but he I in the landscape of commentators and announcers, I see it, and I look at guys that are there and I go, I would have done that different. I could have done that. The thing with All In, 4 years ago, man, like I thought I did really well there. And I was like, all right, Cody, where's the call? He used up his favors on JR and Shivani. And it's like, okay, man, well, I guess that's business. And that's the other thing. Wrestling, I used to get so mad and so tied up inside about what was going on, the opportunities for me, for people I liked. And then it hit me one day that it wasn't healthy. So I started to figure out the only way wrestling is going to be healthy for me and being in it is if I take nothing personally. That's the only way I can survive it. And so when you start doing that, it's like something doesn't go your way. Somebody doesn't act the right way according to what you think they should. It's just whatever, man. It rolls off your back. I still get hot if people are making a joke about the business. I'll still fly off the handle, but not like me, like, you know what I mean? I do look at the landscape now, and there's some guys that make me sweat, like keep me on my toes, make me sweat, and I go, man, he's good, but it's a hard job, so I would never say people suck at it, but there seems to be a what's the word that I want to use, a
Cookie cutter. Oh, sorry.
Cookie cutter, yeah, and the art of it, it's knowing where to throw in the sound bites. It's narrating the story that the talent is telling you in the ring. You are a tool for the entire story. Just like the cameras, just like the ring, they're going to utilize you as a tool to tell that story. And you're not there to get yourself over, obviously, but JR's over. Good God, he's broken in half. He's over because of how he got others over.
Other people over, right?
Yeah, and it's possible. And it's just, no one told me shit, man. I've spent hours with JR. I've been around all of them. None of them gave me a goddamn thing. Not an ounce of advice because they don't want to lose their spot. They don't want to give to you. So I had to learn all this stuff, not on my own, but I had no announcers. I had no role, put somebody in that position. Some shit went down at Empower. I would have loved to have a JR to call and be like, bro, what do I do in this situation? So I had to figure it out on my own. And that, you know what? Fuck it. Good. Fine. Here I am. Right? So yeah, I think when you say that, Ray, that's really, really, I really do appreciate that. And I also, for somebody that loves it like you, just remember, I know getting started is hard, but if it's really something you want to do, you got this wonderful platform here, man, this thing is so powerful. You don't even know. You can do all.
You do know I'm 64 years old, right?
Man, are you Puerto Rican?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, man. Y'all don't crack either, man. Y'all stay smooth.
No. I'm not 64. I'm not 64. This is just a wonderful circle jerk here.
Let's bury some wrestling.
We'll get to that. We're definitely gonna get to that. Don't worry about that.
But Vet, I think it's only fair for me to say that whenever I have somebody like this on, because like, when I sat across from JJ Dillon, I was interviewing him. I've interviewed a whole bunch of other like big wrestlers and stuff, even like AJ Styles and shit. But when I sat across from JJ Dillon, that was the most intimidated I ever was at the time, because again, that's also something, managing. I'm a big dude, but I always found to be really intrigued by that other side of the business, the announcers, the managers, even the referees. I think there's such an important part of the business. But listen, we're all just waking up, we're all fucking yawning at the same time. And I think it's only good. I think what should we do, Vet? Maybe I don't know. Maybe the 3 count.
Okay. Well.
This is the 3 Count with today's biggest stories in pro wrestling, world news, pop culture, sports, and more. And now, back to Big Ray and the Vet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 3 Count. I gotta tell you something, guys. I'm gonna riddle me this. There is a professional wrestler right now, right? And I was telling Vet this off the air, guys. And with this one move, what's the one move you can do, not in the ring, that will end your career, but you didn't really mean to do anything wrong?
Is this for us? The one move, you do it in the ring. You don't do it in the ring.
You don't do it. It's something that you don't do in the ring.
It's not a wrestling move.
Technically, it has really nothing to do with the business. But your career is over immediately.
Oh
after
yeah,
you've done this.
You don't put out nudes, probably. Is that what we're getting at?
I got something better than that.
Better than that?
I'm gonna actually post this. I want to hear your reactions. And what we do is I usually, Vet, I want you to react first, and then Timmy will go around the horn. So I'm gonna share this screen with you guys. Okay, this is for the people watching live. Right now, I'm gonna put up this gimmick, and here we go.
Stevie Richards, the Vet likes all posts where I get beat up. I qualify each and every one of those likes, Stevie.
All right, so this is NXT up and comer Idris Nofefe, or as I like to call him, Malik Yoba. New chest tat. One thing about me is I'm dedicated to this brand at WWE now, then forever. And now let me just play this stupidity.
No.
Yes.
Don't. This is.
Don't do it.
Do his fake Thundercats gimmick.
I'm a company man. Ain't nobody doing it like you, bro. Nobody. Look at that.
So Idris Inofe got the WWE logo over his it appears to be his right pectoral muscle, across from a generic Thundercats gimmick tattoo. We'll go with Vet first, and then we'll have Timmy jump in. Is Vet was I on point with saying that this kid's career is over?
Well,
what even started?
Man, let me.
I'll give you an answer. Here you go.
It's a
Yes, boy.
It's a. Do you have the no boy ready?
Oh no, I didn't get that. God damn it,
it's a bold move. Probably unprecedented as far as I can recall. Certainly to get that whatever incarcerated person that drew that traced the outline for him first. Please don't tell me it's okay. We're not close to the month of April, so this can't be like a joke.
Choking.
Jeez. Well, I believe that there is some sort of, I don't know if it's officially in the books, but I'm pretty sure there's at least an unspoken company policy of getting any future tattoos approved, because you have the licensing, merchandising, things like that. You've got to, we want to make sure the action figures are up to date and everything like that. So if this is a real deal and he's really a company man, that means he brought this to somebody and they said, yeah, sure, go for it, kid.
Timmy, before you actually comment on this, there was a follow-up video that Mr. Idris Inofe did.
Is he getting it lasered off?
No, check it out. Here we go. I'll play it for you, and then you can jump in. Here we go. Okay, you see him there, right? Okay, I'm not. Oh, this is the worst. Did this ever happens to you when you're fucking doing play-by-play? It's just.
Oh yeah, you just gotta kill the dead air.
There we go. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. Here we go.
You're doing great.
All right, so a lot of y'all keep on blowing up my DMs talking about I want to see the full tattoo. So I'm gonna show it to you.
Did we though? Sorry.
No.
Apparently so. I mean.
All right, you want to show off your abs? You can do
Actually, on second thought, if you want to see the full thing, tune into NXT tonight at 8/7 Central on the USA Network.
Is he okay?
Was he have fucking asthma?
Yeah. What's his? Is he really in the company? Does he arrest? Okay, so number of things. That you are right. There were many a time where Johnny Ace would flip out on a talent for getting something on their arm or getting something, because then you got to alert the action figures with Mattel. Then you got to alert whoever was in charge of the video games. Then, I mean, even Randy Orton, his tattoo artist, had a lawsuit because they weren't paying her for the the blur out. Here's what this kid just went and did. I don't think he got permission. I think he's that dumb. Yeah. And I think he thought this would get him ahead. And now what he has effectively done is turned himself into a complete mark and rib that will never end. It will never end. And he will be beaten down into submission, or he will quit. And he will try to go on the indies, but they won't book him, especially if they have TV, because they'll have to invest in blurring it out. Moron! I tell people, don't even put WWE in your Twitter handle, even if you're the champion there. All parties must end, and you gotta go somewhere else and make a living. This is dumb. This is dumb. People hopped on Cody's thing, but at least Cody's was his brand. You know, it's awful. It's a sight for sore eyes. Question the thought process going into it, but hey, he's still making a lot of money. This kid's on, I don't even know what, $1,200, $1,250 a week, and he's lucky to have it. Trust me, brother. He'll work, and he'll have a career that is short and very much so a rib. And that is sad.
$50,000 fine, you think? Like Urban Shlomo says?
He don't have 55. He don't have 50,000. These guys they're developmental. They don't got that kind of money right now.
Shit.
If you find him 5,000, he'd be out of the game. I would just fire him. That's sad. I would fire him.
Then he would work for 8. Oh wait.
No, he can't. Yeah, he is displaying the signs of being a massive mark and not intelligent. Is this somebody you want to invest millions of dollars into to lead any sort of segments on your national or global television show? He can't even get out the set. Like, come on.
I had the answer to that question way before he got this tattoo, but I mean,
why was he so out of breath?
I thought he was trying not to laugh. You didn't get that?
Well, maybe not cry.
It seemed like he was trying to hold back a chuckle is what it seemed like.
Well, I'm glad he finds it funny. He probably won't when he gets the call to come into the office. Johnny's not there. But let's just pretend his ghost is always there. He's like, give me a call. I gotta talk to you. He's gonna be getting that. But he was going in for TV that night. I was gonna say if he's looking at that 203 area code, he better not answer. But he's going into TV. I didn't even notice. Did he have it? Did he unveil it last night?
You know, I wasn't looking for it. But I feel like I would have noticed if he had some stupid shit like that. So this could all just be a rib on his part.
Yeah, he had a backstage. He was one of the guys backstage. He had a promo against Gacy and his school shooters, I think. But he didn't.
Remember, these are pre-taped, right?
But he didn't wear a shirt. And I did not notice an ostentatious WWE tattoo over his pec, so this could have all just been like some kind of a prank he's playing for whatever reason. It's not funny, but
even if he did play a prank and he didn't do this, it's still stupid.
What's the end game?
There is no end game. That you were marked for the WWE? Okay.
I mean, you guys love this show. This guy, you guys love what you do.
Don't.
he meant next level, not.
Yeah,
God, scared me, dude.
Are you gonna tattoo this shit? Are you gonna tattoo it on your back? That was suicide. That was so stupid. That was so dumb. And he screwed over. Doesn't he have a tag team partner? Thanks, buddy. You are.
Is Malik gonna get a tattoo an Argyle sweater vest on his body? That would be a more appropriate. Well, what else you got, Ray?
What's this guy's name? I'm sorry, what?
This guy, Idris Enofe.
Idris
That's his
Enofe.
gimmick name.
If he is not the laughing stock of the entire NXT locker room right now, I'll bet my good leg. You know what I'm saying? It's too much.
All right, I got a story for you guys, and this one popped up because this guy. Now I'm a diehard New York Knicks fan, always been, even though they suck. Well, you know what? They don't suck. The New York Knicks have won 8 in a row. And
you want to play the song too? Go ahead.
I'm not gonna play the fucking song, Vet. Don't worry about it. But the New York Knicks are on pace to win their 10th straight game against Philadelphia on Christmas. Now,
on pace.
So Knicks.
Shit. Dude, come on. Give me a break, man. I've been suffering with these guys since I was born 1976. I've never seen a championship.
Patrick Ewing left, and
that shit broke my heart, brother. But anywho, Stephen A. Smith has been in talks with WWE, and he's a Knicks fan. This is why I bring up the Knicks. On being a heel manager in professional wrestling. I'm gonna go to Timmy.
It's been a dream of his. I know that.
Now I think so. You know the guy that used to be on WWE on NXT Vet, with the African American gentleman with the glasses. Now he's on AEW.
Stokely Hathaway.
That guy. I always thought Stokely Hathaway was kind of like a generic version of Stephen A. Smith. Could you imagine? Well, you know what, Tim? What do you think? Like Stephen A. Smith as a heel manager in WWE? As I look for the Knicks theme song? Huh?
I think he would be. I think if he was quickly demarked and quickly brought up to speed, I think he'd do great. I think the guy has a knack for pissing people off. I think he knows the wrong things to say at the right times.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to stir it up.
His cadence, he's annoying.
His cadence, that look he gives the camera when he's done making a point. But the problem is, WWE does not necessarily. They want you to be a good boy in your other ventures, right? Pat McAfee is a good boy in his other ventures. What's the other? They got some. Logan Paul. He just puts up numbers. It's hard to not have him. But he's also kind of cleaned up his act a little bit. And then you look at Stephen Smith. I got to wonder if there would be a possibility that he'd be able to understand the mentality and psychology that you are not there to just put yourself over and be annoying, but you have to transfer that heat. You have to be able to like a warm blanket, engulf your talent with that heat. But it's interesting. I'll say this: it's an interesting prospect.
I don't disagree. Vet as the hold on, you hear that?
We are the New York Knicks.
It just takes him that long to find his sound bites on the board, so we knew it was coming.
Go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
Look at the anger, the frustration on the face of
this is what my face always looks like.
Oh, that's
people project onto me all the time. Timmy. This is yes.
when I first started working with Vet, how many times did I ask you, Vet, are we good?
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you think about this, Vet? What do you think of Stephen A. Smith as a potential manager? Or is there somebody out there that you said to yourself, man, this guy or girl would make a great manager in WWE right now?
I don't spend my waking hours thinking about who would make a great manager in that circus, but Stephen A. Smith is perfect for that circus. But I would think it would be like a one-off because the man is also ridiculously busy all the time. There's no way that Stephen A. is going on the fucking road with the WWE. Are you kidding? Get over it. But he would do a one shot for like a one night manager, like they could even do the classic, I got a 24-hour manager license, so and then he can even send in some video promos, just before he actually gets there.
So on first take he could do it.
Can I offer this? So
sure.
If it's going to be a one-off, and you don't just put that guy with like almost or whatever. I'd say you put him with like a Carmelo Hayes as this like, all upcoming blue chip athlete, kind of the MVP deal. You know what I mean? And what better endorsement than?
Oh my God, that's actually with the Melo gimmick with the basketball that works, bro.
That's the guy I think it would work with. Instead of just having him come up there and play second fiddle to somebody who it doesn't quite. It seems to fit right there, and that would be a good way to. I mean, if it's going to be a TV thing once a week, I think Stephen A. Smith could manage that for a few months. Like a manager run isn't as long as it used to be. So have him be the thing that gets him started. I'm sure Trick Williams may not like that, but these are the breaks, kid. This is wrestling, and I can't tell you how many people in developmental thought they were called up as a team, and it did not.
But to your point though, Timmy, it's like if you used the phrase demark, which I didn't even know was a phrase, but the whole point of you saying that is that he is one. If you've ever seen him talk to guys like Triple H or whatever, you're just like, okay, this guy, like, he only kind of gets it. He's not really he's still kind of getting worked here. But, so that's the thing. Like, somebody like a Carmelo Hayes, that's not going to even be on Stephen A. Smith's radar. He's going to want to manage somebody that he knows. Yeah. And the WWE is going to suggest people is like, well, what about this? And he's going to be like, I don't know who that is. So it's going to be somebody big if it happens, because this is just a bucket list item that's getting checked off. This is not like a new career change for Stephen A. But also, it's still a good, the WWE wants to bring in, people just to get eyes on the product. Of course, they never think about what happens when the eyes actually are on the product and what they see. And then that's why they don't come back. And that's why they even take people out with them and the numbers keep going down. But, it's still, you got to try. They've got the working relationship with Fox and Disney now which owns ESPN. So you're already there. Stephen A's already made the connections with, the guys like Hunter and whoever else that he's, marked out for in the past. So it's all just like a natural fit. It should happen.
But if they haven't, here's the other telling thing. If they haven't done it yet, they probably are not keen on the idea. That's something that if somebody of his stature comes up and pitches that, and they get excited about, if it's like something they think they can capitalize on. So there may be some behavior.
Stevie Richards jumps in really quickly. He says Stephen A's ROH work is sorely lacking.
Rope work. His rope work is sorely lacking.
Got it.
Stevie Richards didn't see his best of 11 series with HC Loke and Tony DeVito of the Ring Crew Express, the actual Ring Crew Express, Dunn and Marco. He didn't see that best of 11 that Stephen A. Smith was involved in. So
he can't blame him for not seeing that. Stevie only watches wrestling for money these days, so
that's good.
He's not going to be seeing it.
Fred, are we banning Timmy Baltimore for saying the words?
Oh no,
work rate?
That's all right.
No, okay.
What's the work rate? Is a banned word? I agree with y'all.
It was a running joke we had for a while.
Yeah,
people were getting time out.
I use it facetiously
and sarcastically, and
because come on, what are we talking about? Somebody comes up and talks to you about work rate, you just go
I see you're an observer reader.
yeah okay right, I'm gonna go over here now.
I got one more story here, guys, and we're gonna jump into NXT right after this because there's nothing really important going on in the world of professional wrestling yet. You know how the day goes on. Well, sometimes. Well, this is really. Listen, guys, I'm sure you're very familiar with the whole situation with Matt Riddle.
Yes.
But as of 3 hours ago, I'm going to read this verbatim here, and I may play some clips. They're 40 seconds each of this young lady. Anywho, it says, another woman comes forward with Matt Riddle cheating story. I'll read this as per, I'm not putting this fucking website over. Matt Riddle has been under a lot of fire recently. From being suspended for WWE on account of failing a drug test to cheating on his partners. It seems that Jordan Marks isn't the only woman who he was two-timing. All right, so I'm going to play this little thing. Let's analyze this young lady just for the entertainment factor here. And this is a young lady crying about a professional wrestler cheating on her. Here we go.
What I can say is if you've seen anything or know anything, it all has been true. And a certain person has chosen to make decisions that have hurt me and countless other people. I don't want to be sitting in my car crying over this, and I don't.
But she does
But
want
you
to
did
record
it anyway.
and she does want to record it. Now, hold on.
Want it to be attention grabbing, but sometimes people are just, they're not good people, and that's okay. I wish this person nothing but the best. I wish
No,
them
she doesn't.
nothing but healing and happiness
Oh, he's healing all right.
in their heart, because apparently me and other people couldn't provide that for them. So they.
All right, shut up, bitch. So we have another audio clip of her.
Oh, more. God, women.
Hold on one second. Here it is.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Oh, shit, that's totally fine. My bad. This
Caption
one.
right there.
Here we go.
Like, at the end of the day, this is almost like a blessing in disguise, because I've undergone like one of the most like traumatizing years of my life.
Is it?
And had a lot of like terrible things happen, all because of one person.
Did it?
Shit.
And I should like.
She had a tough year, Ray. I mean, a matador tried to stick swords in her. I mean, come on.
Hold on.
And I reiterate, I should be able to express how I feel, and that I'm hurt, and that
I'm hurt, and I'm old. I'm sorry.
I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm sad. Like, I'm absolutely devastated, dejected, doleful, miserable, melancholic, whatever you want to throw out
Melancholic. It's melancholy.
there. That's
She said
how I
doleful.
feel. Like,
Bust out the
What is this? What is
It's
this?
not
Charles
fair.
Dickens?
All right, enough with this shit. All right, here's
yeah,
the-
I grab her by the nose ring and say, "Shut up." Listen,
that was a nose ring. I thought she
was that what it was, or was it snot?
No, I thought it was snot, but it is a nose ring, sir. Please.
So that was
please.
almost as pathetic as Aleister Black's phone video from the car. Wow. So we are. What are we doing? We're lambasting this guy because he's a piece of shit husband.
I don't know. He's a
wrestler. He's living like a rock star. Like in the 80s, that's just what the boys did. It's sad and unfortunate sometimes, but he's just this bisexual bro. He likes it all, and he's definitely he's definitely partaking. But here's where WWE kind of looked the other way because, oh man, whatever, he's a star, he wants to act like a star. But it messes with their business when his ex-wife starts subpoenaing for every drug test he's ever taken, because then they can be culpable if he's popped before and haven't suspended him. So that's when WWE goes, you got to go rehab, get the fuck out of here. In my opinion, that's what happened, because anybody who had been near the situation or anywhere on the road with him probably knows how Matt Riddle gets down. That's sad, little. What do you think was gonna happen?
But I mean, here's the thing, man, and it's true. You are.
Whoever this is got us to talk about it, so I can only imagine that would be like the idea of taking something that's, well, I just got screwed over, but maybe I can get over it.
What is melancholic? Is that like how babies are born colicky?
Yeah,
are they depressed too? Anyway, listen, man. Matt Riddle. I'm gonna ask you about this, about Matt Riddle, Tim. When you see this kid in the ring, when you see this kid, the love that the fans, because the kid is loved by the fans. I mean, kid exudes charisma. Do you genuinely see a future for him in this business, knowing that, it seems that he does have an addictive personality? I think that's fair to say. In your professional opinion, being around this business for so many years, working with so many people, if there's any advice you would give to this kid, or maybe there is no advice you can give to him, but is there anything you would want to say regarding him, in his career or whatever?
Yeah, I do think he has a future. I think it could be a little dicey, but I think people are always. I think he can get over wherever he goes. He's got that kind of charisma. I think he's always going to be trouble for management, no doubt, unless he has a come to whatever moment or finds a woman that ships him into shape. He is always, or a man, whatever. He is always going to have some issues with management. It happened in UFC with Dana White. He's got issues with authority, and but that's never stopped the wrestling business from making money with somebody like that. Now in this 2022, where things like orgies and menage a trois and multiple partners simultaneously, when you're a star, gets blown up. Like, it's always been the culture. A guy had a girl in every town, maybe two. It's always been the culture, but now these girls can do this. They couldn't do that before. My advice to him would be stop, put on the brakes, assess your situation. First and foremost, you are a father. You're a father. Do you want your children to look at that as the way a man behaves with women? Second, do you want to be in this business? Do you want to continue to make a lot of money in this business? If so, you are going to have to pivot and readjust your behavior. I would tell him to stop hooking up with Strange. I would tell him to stop, if you're going to blow lines of MDMA and Coke, man, you got to be real careful. You got to be real careful, because here's what's going to happen. At one point, you already know he's going to get a bad one with fentanyl and he's going to die, if you're playing with that kind of fire. So I would advise him, I'm never going to tell somebody how to live their life. I'm never going to tell anybody not to do drugs, because I don't know what they're going through, right? But I am going to tell you the party's gotten out of hand for him, and he either needs to end the party or bring it indoors, because it's never like, nobody goes to rehab. Look, rehabs and these places, 12-step places, anything involving sobriety and being clean from narcotics, 5% success rate. 5%. Any other business, anything else at a 5% success rate would be out of business. But there's a 5% success rate. And the reason it is because people don't quit drinking. People don't quit drugs. Not for their kids, not for their wives, not for their church, not for anybody. They do it when they're ready. When enough pain has been inflicted and they are sufficiently horrified, that's when they stop. But if you're rich and you got a ton of money, that horror, you can keep it at bay so much longer. So I don't like his chances. I don't like anybody's chances of going to rehab. But I will say this. Is there a future for him? Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of blind eye turning. When the scene gets hot, he's going to get let go, which is what we're seeing now. But the only advice I would look at him and go, you're a father first, man. What are you doing?
That's great advice. Vet, do you have anything to say about this story, or do you want to just jump into NXT and maybe talk about how Eva Marie is going to ruin WWE again?
Yeah, nothing really to add on Matt Riddle. I will say it's funny that hashtag the artist mentioned Jeff Hardy, because I'm reminded of a guy who I have not been kind to with my words over the years, but I'm reminded of a guy. You deserve it, and Jeff Hardy deserved it more than you. But I'm reminded of a guy who was rewarded for his transgressions further and further and further up the card. It's like, the more times you screw up outside the ring, the more belts we put on you, thinking that that's the answer. People gravitate towards Matt Riddle. He does have that, with the stoner culture, he can relate to a lot of people. And even the kids that don't understand it yet, they don't get what they're liking, but they like it because he's like a human cartoon character. So he will always have that cool dichotomy of a goofy guy that will kick the fucking shit out of you for real. And that's very marketable. And we haven't seen him get to that point where it's starting to affect what he does on the camera, really. I mean, we may just be like scratching that surface lately. But Eric Bischoff hasn't had to call any matches short or anything yet. So let's just hope that, whatever he needs to do to get it together, because think about it. They already knew what they were getting into when they fucking signed him. So if he made it this far, just imagine what he would be like if he was on a straight and narrow that they could 100% get behind. They'd strap a rocket to him. The only reason they haven't is probably because of things like this.
Right. And that's the other thing you got to consider. Your kids, number one, but kids do love that guy. If I was a kid, I think he was the coolest, right? Got the little skateboard, tells people off, but like in a funny, aloof way, right? It's really smart how his character has evolved. And everybody makes mistakes, and hopefully you can get it back on track. But I'm telling you, the reason that it's come to light, they know these videos and these women have been coming at him for years now, and they've been paying him to shut up, go away. They changed his name so the search engine optimization didn't come up with all these things. Then they changed it back. He is not. He's a womanizer. So he's just a gotta have it all. Very addictive personality. But how do you want to be remembered, right? What kind of father do you want to be, and how do you want to be remembered from kids that grow up watching you, man? Because they will do that shit. If they think Matt Riddle can go out and blow lines and bang hookers and, do the Eiffel Tower trick with Damian Priest, they're going to think, hey, man, that's what cool people do.
The Eiffel Tower trick with what?
One on each end, high five.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Yeah, we used to call that a mixed tag back in the day.
Mixed tag.
Who could help that guy out? What's
What's your name, fella?
Triple H.
I don't know, maybe. Gentlemen.
Yeah, I think they spend a lot of money placating to his lifestyle, and it's coming to bite him because the ex-wife, she's coming for blood.
Yeah, pal.
There may be a period where he has to go away, but he'll be back.
You think he'll be back?
Absolutely.
In a tag team with Rob Van Dam?
No.
You know what the crazy thing is, and I think me and Vet spoke about this last week. How maybe it was me and the Vet, maybe I don't know, but when Randy Orton was there, Randy Orton went down that path already, and it's like the minute Randy Orton fucking went away, everything went down the hill of shit. Am I off here?
No, Randy Orton was big brother, man. They didn't get along at first. Randy didn't like him, which is kind of the way of Randy. And then he grew on Randy. And again, it was like that's the life Randy was living.
Exactly. It's almost like a mirror. I'm sorry. I mean,
sure,
it's like a mirror. Them looking at each other in the mirror. But continue, please.
And yeah, I think he's probably doesn't have that big brother saying, "Hey, man, let's ride with me this week." You know what I mean? Right? You're going to stay in my hotel this week. We're going to keep it indoors. So he doesn't have that. And a guy like Damian Priest appears to me he probably runs in those circles, but he seems to be a little smarter. And he also seems to have better advocates.
He's also Puerto Rican like me.
He's also Puerto Rican.
Goddamn right.
So
he literally did that gimmick in NXT. Like his vignettes were him with a bunch of girls at the club. That was Damian Priest.
By the way, did you know Puerto Ricans we're really good at shooting arrows? Apparently.
I didn't know. I know y'all. I know y'all on the second floor stomp and make a lot of noise.
Goddamn, you damn right we do.
We
play music. We play loud music at 8:00 in the morning, and we're always frying something.
Yep.
That's a fact.
I love the Barricos, man. They were great neighbors.
Goddamn right.
They were wonderful.
The tag team?
No. My neighbors one time upstairs is a Puerto Rican family. Just loud, but they were
you live with Savio Vega? What? Anyway. Guys, look, I don't want to drag this out anymore, and I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize right now, Timmy.
What? You've done great. What's the matter? What are we doing?
Venom, it's time for NXT. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is NXT. NXT was live Tuesday night, December 20th, 2022. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge main event. The
Oh, I was gonna say it's Grayson Waller's promo.
God damn it! All right, you know what? The New Day fight the Brawling Hicks. Oh my God, we have bars trying to be saved. We have people seeing visions. We have ladies with bats being beat up by witches. I mean, God damn it, Vet! I'm going to turn this over to you and do what you do because that's what the Vet does, right? Vet.
Yeah.
Once again, just being that vet, man. Just doing what vets do.
Found it, Vet.
All right.
Yeah. Love that clip. You're the vet. Sorry.
So so we're just gonna go ahead and did you find that 9 days from tonight? Because we need that.
No, but I can do it. 9 days from tonight.
It's
so
good,
Tony,
little
Tony.
Yeah.
When he came out and yelled at everyone about 9
that
days.
guy is never going to have heat with me just for that one promo. Like he's
What a weird thing to yell.
9 days from tonight.
I'm dead serious.
You got time to get ready, Matt. If you win, you get a shot at the title.
That's a really good Tony Khan.
He can do no wrong. I don't care what he does from here on out. He was always over with me for that. But anyway,
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
So seriously, we're going to start this program with Carmelo Hayes versus Axiom. And I'm just going to say this before I throw it to either one of you. This is the best match I've seen either of these two guys in. Like I've never been interested in Carmelo Hayes. I don't care about A-Kid. I don't care about Axiom. But for whatever reason, they had a chemistry in this particular match that I did not see in their entire careers up till now. Not saying it's great, just saying it was the best that I've seen them in. No, it could be great. I mean, they actually did some wrestling in the wrestling match to start with.
How many flips did they do over the top rope out onto the floor?
Not many.
I don't think none.
That's how, first match.
But there was something amazing that I've never seen that Axiom did, where Carmelo jumped up for a springboard inside the ring. He jumped up on the second rope.
Yeah.
To go for like a, springboard back elbow or whatever he would have went for. And Axiom jumped up on the ropes, German suplexed him off, and slid through the second rope to the floor in one smooth motion. I was like, how did you not fuck that up? That was so many ways you could have fucked that up and you didn't. But, there were a couple of little things too, like that was pretty weird. There's going to be some heat on the refs on this review show here, Timmy. Yeah. One of them, and you already know what I'm talking about. They go for a sit-out power bomb. Ref doesn't even fucking count it. The guy's shoulders couldn't have been any more down, and this idiot's just sitting there staring at him like, when are you going to do the armbar spot? Like
he's doing the ref hand?
Yeah. Are you kidding? But like that's not on the two guys. It was that they did what they had to do. I really liked what they did. I normally don't, like I said, I'm not into either of these guys, but they brought it here. So surprisingly, a good use of Trick Williams. Just one thing at the very end. And again, the ref looks a little stupid for getting distracted by a guy just selling in the corner, but I mean, look, we're just going to take our small victories at this point, and Melo gets the win. So, Timmy, I don't know how much of these guys you've seen, but what did you see in this opening match?
Real quickly, Jimmy, I'm sorry. Kevin, God bless you and your mom out there, all right, man? Enjoy visiting, spending time with her, man. God bless you.
Shout out Dollar Club, Kevin Panetta, baby.
Give your mom our best, buddy. Give your mom our best. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And the whole chat, you have been acknowledged, because we usually acknowledge everybody in the chat, and I usually hit a gimmick where Roman Reigns is doing the whole
You fucking mark!
Whoops.
Wrong button.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Big Ray?
Sorry, guys. You know what? You're all acknowledged. Timmy, the referees, they suck. What was that saying?
I like so Carmelo Hayes, there's something there, but there's something missing, and I can't put my finger on it yet.
Right.
There's something. I like Trick. I like Carmelo, but is it the size? I don't know. There's something missing, and maybe it's that I feel that I want to get on board with this guy because he has a decent presence. He has I think he believes in what he's doing, but he wrestles like every other person that's doing way too much. And in this match, though, I when it comes to Axiom or A-Kid, they show on the Titantron. Now, keep in mind, I don't watch a lot of NXT, so I'm giving a kind of objective opinion somewhat. They show these eyes, but his face is all covered. He's never going to get to the point that he wants to get unless he can show some face. Rey Mysterio is a genius. He kept this so he could show he excels with his body, unlike almost anyone. NXT ain't there. I want to call him NXT. Axiom ain't there yet with that. It's like cheering for the generic wrestler from pro wrestling on the Nintendo. Like, it's very generic. Now
Starman's over, dude.
You can do some amazing things, but to get to that next level, man, you gotta show me, like, make some. Like, I don't know. There's nothing that people can relate to. Right?
Oddly enough, Timmy, he comes in as A-Kid, and they're like, put a hood on him. So it's like, I don't know if that was his idea of, like, I want to do a different type of gimmick. Probably not. But that's the situation that he's facing. He's now trying to make his lemonade and chicken salad sandwiches.
Well, then I have a lot more sympathy for him. I think then what they do that either, unfortunately, as like a weird, they'll do things like that to see if you can overcome it. Right? And I don't want to say a punishment, but
this was like at the 2.0 changeover.
Okay.
Where they came in and, ripped everything up and, got rid of a bunch of people and stuff. And I guess this guy was there. And let's face it, A-Kid didn't have anything special either. Very generic, stupid name. Right. So maybe they just got the idea to do this sort of comic book Beautiful Mind type mashup here and go with that. And he's just doing the best he can. But that's bringing you up to speed there.
Okay, but like, that's not good enough because you're in the WWE. You're in the WWE, man. And I understand if they want to get him out there, and if they don't have an idea yet, get him out there doing something. It's not gonna. It's not gonna get to the level that everybody wants to get to. It's just not. It's not. There's nothing relatable, especially in America. There's nothing relatable when you have your full face covered. And a weird thing in WWE that I don't know if you guys have been privy to this, and I learned this from somebody that it couldn't be more on the inside. A lot of times when somebody is on thin ice, on the chopping block, they will put them in tag teams. They will put them under a mask. They'll do everything that makes you think they're getting a push, and they'll fire them. So when they come back, if they try to sue, they can say, look, we tried everything with this guy. Yeah. It's a common practice. I don't know if that's the situation here, but that I will say this, like, a few things I did like. I like Carmelo that slamming his head out of the triangle. I thought that was good. I thought that was brutal. That's the way to do it. I think the kid lacks that mean streak also. He lacks that, like, when you cement your heat and they talk about changing gears, it means whatever you are before, whatever, if you're a character, being fun, you are pissed. You're being vicious in that heat. And I don't see that vicious streak yet.
Timmy, is Carmelo too likable?
Perhaps.
I think he is, Vet. And see, me and Vet,
certain people, he is. Yeah.
I like the kid a lot.
Yeah,
I think the kid is super talented, and I think there is something there. But go ahead, Vet.
Well, what you're seeing is not the likability. He may be likable. People may like him, but what you're talking about is the vanilla. Like, right. What Timmy's talking about is the vanilla. He doesn't have that other gear. He wrestles every match like, these are the moves I'm supposed to do because that's what I said I was going to do when we were back there talking about it.
Right.
Boom.
He doesn't look like he's reacting to stuff. Although in this match, he did more than he ever has. So if you're still seeing the vanilla stuff coming through, just imagine how much more boring he's been up to this point, I guess. And Axiom too. Like, I'm very not into Axiom, but even without the facial expressions that he's not able to show. Here I see him like the body language is much more crisp, and I feel like the NXT fans in that small intimate setting, like they're not gonna let Axiom fail because they kind of like what they see.
They do. He's as you would say, over with the crowd.
Yeah, they didn't know how to react to him at first. It was very lukewarm when he first came out. They were kind of like, I don't know. But once he went out there and did a couple of things, like it kind of changed their minds a little bit. Didn't really change my mind, but seeing these guys that they're capable of this is like a good step in the right direction for me, at least, on two guys I've not been high on at all.
So I really like the finish though, because when they did that hop up, tit for tat, Hurricane Rana spot, and then the interference, and then he hit his finisher, I was like, beautiful, wonderful, because you ain't getting them no higher than that spot. Take it home. And they did. I was like, thank God. I was hoping there wasn't going to be another sequence after that. However, I do wish earlier in the match, the whole match, the story had been them teasing that, like trying to go for that. And so when it was hit, it would have, to tell that story instead of just breaking it out of nowhere. And I think that just comes with experience and working. But I was pleasantly surprised by the finish. Bell to bell, there could have been some improvements. And I guess that's, it's tough to not be hard on developmental. It's tough to be like, well, they don't have any creative for him, because it was a lot like that in OVW at times. But I just feel like, man, they have so many resources. Think of something for the kid. If he's not a creative guy, come up with something better than putting him in a like Rad Racer 80s road rash mask. Like, I don't buy it. That's a little harsh, but the kid can move. Good showing for both of them, and it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt him. Axiom. I can't remember his freaking name. It didn't hurt him at all. It made it actually.
Axiom Kid. Axe Kid.
Axe Kid.
Demolition Axe.
Demolition Axe. It helped him a great deal. And Hayes snuck away, which was important for later in the show. And Trick did his deal. I got no qualms about that. Just Carmelo needs something else. Not to wrestle like everybody else. The light bulb needs to go off with him psychologically, as far as who he is in that ring. And the other guy, I wish we could find something different than the mask. But if somebody's got to be out there to get beat, right? So maybe a mask guy with some credibility is that guy.
Could be. Or he could just sell some toys. Ray, anything to add to that?
Just wanted to put over that Mike Mondo really was looking forward to this show. I'm looking for the comment exactly, but I know here we go. Says, this will be a great episode for you guys. Brent Terring, a.k.a. Timmy Baltimore, has been there and has a great mind and eye for this business. An early Christmas gift indeed. This is like, everybody fucking loves Timmy.
Well, how could you not?
Timmy. Hashtag know what I mean? Give her that mic. You know what I mean?
So Timmy, that's another thing, like being able to have Mike on here and talk to him and tell him. That's something I can't talk to somebody like that who's like a trainer. That's like an inappropriate relationship. I can't say how much I like and respect a guy in the middle of him, because that's what are you kissing his ass? Like, I can't even just be genuine. You know what I mean? So it's like to just be able to have him on here and just talk to him like a guy, but still talk shop and everything like that. It's like, this is the kind of stuff I need. It's more therapeutic for me than anything else. But you guys deserve to know, like, even back then, that you meant a lot, but we just didn't know how to, we weren't able to communicate that for whatever reason, right?
I really appreciate that, man. I do. And like, I wish you weren't so in your head at that time, because I never would have been like, oh, get out of here. Like,
wrestling's not conducive to human beings existing in it. Okay. You need to be some kind of a deranged psychopath, or just Mick Foley, whichever. Like, I don't know. It's somehow you made it work.
One the same.
Yeah. So, but anyway, let's move on to Mackenzie. With who's she with, right?
Grayson Waller. Waller.
And he's very inspired by Roxy's championship win, so he calls his shot against Braun Breaker, even though he isn't there. So seems like he was more inspired by Big Body Javi calling out opponents that can't answer the call, which he's not there. So little taste of Grayson. This won't be the last of him.
It's what a bad guy is supposed to do.
Yeah,
he's supposed to get the crowd upset because they know that Braun Breaker's not there to kick his ass. But go ahead, Timmy.
I like it because I go, okay, there's going to be a thread throughout the show, and I like that. I like to have a story thread that runs throughout the show. It doesn't have to be every show, but back in the day when people loved the Attitude Era, it was first segment, where's Austin? Oh, he's arrived. Oh, he's kicking. You know what I mean? Until he came to that ring and the glass broke and they threw babies in the air.
I'm sorry. I actually visualized a toddler being tossed.
Dude, I was there for that match where it was Rock and Hunter Iron Man match and Backlash 2000. Still Mark. Still am, obviously. But it was that some people credit as like the biggest pop when they were both down tied and everybody's beating on the Rock, McMahon's and Hunter, and the glass breaks. Everybody knew it was coming. They waited for that moment, and I literally in that it was in DC in that arena. It was almost like I almost fell over because of the force of the pop was like, oh my God, it was guttural. It was otherworldly. I'll never forget that. And so anyway, I like having a story thread throughout. So that made me, I go, okay, cool. We're utilizing some episodic booking and making it work for us.
All right. Well, we're not done with Waller because we're gonna see Tony D and Stacks.
Yeah, forget about
it. They're having a little chat backstage, and something about Dijak or whatever. And then Waller, they're having this little meeting in the. You know how the mob holds their meetings in the NXT kitchen area. Like
what? You're right. They couldn't get a little they couldn't black down a room make it look like where you get made. In the movies.
I was saying, why couldn't they just be sitting in the car? That's where a lot of conversations have happened in mob movies.
In the car, yeah.
Well, the NXT parking lot's very dangerous, though, so
true.
I don't know.
That's very, very true.
Yeah,
Remember the room Joe Pesci walked into, and he goes, and they pop him? Something like that would be kind of cool. I don't know. Is D'Angelo too on the nose? Is it a little too on the nose?
He's not enough on the nose. What kind of mobster has this tied up man bun ponytail in the back?
He's got the
never seen that in any of those Scorsese movies.
Well, I mean, we're on a new I don't know what the kids in the mafia. The mafia is still around. I don't know what the next generation looks like. It probably looks like a lot of tattoos and high.
No, you're right. He's right.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I didn't think about it
like
that
the
way.
old gentleman kind. That's the last generation.
That's fair.
So
even so, I still don't see that hairstyle working out in any case. But
what about what is it? Timmy Two Dicks? What's this guy's name?
The guy.
That's what they used to call me, right?
No, not
Timmy Two Dicks. Yeah.
Tony Two Holes. What do we call this kid?
But it was just the cane.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I understand.
What about his haircut with the little frosty tips on it now?
Well, Two Holes is over in AEW now with
right.
with the firm or whatever, right? Or whatever.
Stacks.
One of the 17 factions over there.
I thought he was with QT Marshall's Cuties.
Yeah, maybe them. I don't.
That's a thing.
You do light the fuse. I don't do light the fuse. But so Grayson Waller comes in and asks a favor. He's like, "Hey, can you tell Braun Breaker I'm looking for him?" Yeah, all right. And Tony D's like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah, phone that Braun Breaker guy.
Why is he asking him to tell him? Does he have a relationship with?
No, he's just a douche.
He's a dickhead.
Is that guy's deal? He's just very douchey.
Yes.
I don't like his ring gear. It really.
Nobody does.
I hate it. I don't know what he's. Is that how they act over there? In Zia? Okay.
So he's supposed to be a boxer over in Australia. He's an Australian boxer. So in the ring, he wears boxing gear, okay, and then he fights kangaroos. and then he comes and he trains in the WWE on his days off. Yeah,
he looks like he's wearing like he's going to the beach or something. I don't get that.
Big shout out Jimmy T.
He looks like somebody. I could see him being a real pain in the ass in the locker room.
He's
like,
probably not though.
But I can see him run people. But that he's their asshole. Like he's like, all right.
Well, how many times have you seen this, Timmy, where somebody is just so good at their gimmick that the other boys mark out and think that's who they are and start treating them accordingly?
Yes,
right?
Very much so. It is funny. It's funny to see how easily everyone's worked instead of just sitting back and waiting for things to happen. All these, and a lot of that is the threat. They see a guy come along, it's always a threat. Like body guy heat. Whenever there's two guys that are jacked, body guy heat can't occupy the same airspace. Wrestling's so petty. Never underestimate wrestling's ability or willingness to what it'll do for money and in the name of pettiness.
That is correct. I wouldn't call this next competitor petty because Nikita Lyons is on the way to the ring for her match, and then that dirty bitch Zoe tries to jumpstart it, but I think she completely missed the chop block or something. What the hell happened there?
That's exactly what happened. She missed the spot. She fucking tripped.
Well,
no, she did the John Moxley thing where he fell off the ramp.
They just didn't have it. The stage wasn't raised, so she had nowhere to fall off to. But so she missed, but Nikita didn't miss a beat. She just started beating her ass, so that was good.
Can I say this is the way a match like this should have started? Me and Vet,
right.
we complain about this all the time, how you have two people that really hate each other. Just so you know, Timmy, these two girls are in a blood feud. They were a tag team, they were friends, and now they fucking hate each other because Zoe Stark, just got fed up with losing and just started beating up Nikita. And, me and Vet always say a lot of times these matches start with a fucking collar and elbow tie-up. No, these girls fucking went at it, and I absolutely loved this part of the match.
Yeah, well, you can expand on that because all I really have to say is that, watching this, of course, there were things, but I thought it was pretty solid considering the aggregate experience level of these two. So Ray, what would you say? Tell me what you liked about it.
Well, first I'm gonna put over your boy Sergio. He's here,
Oh, Sunset Flip.
Yeah, it's the man. It's the man.
Master
Sergio
Sunset
Rango.
Flip. I don't care what they said about that Kentucky stud, Sergio. You were the true king of the Sunset Flip.
The king of the Sunset Flip.
If you aren't there for that golden moment of time, Ray, I don't think words will do it justice.
Oh wow. Is there video?
Somewhere.
There's definitely some video.
Okay.
Does this ring a bell to anybody out there?
Find that.
All right.
So,
boy, that Nikita's thick, huh?
So number one, Nikita's delicious. I'm gonna put it that way. I love Nikita Lyons. I think the hero of this match is that buckle that was around her waist. That thing held up fucking incredibly. But with all that being said, I think these two girls worked a really good match. They just were very physical with each other. I didn't really I liked the first two matches of the night, to be honest with you, and I thought NXT got off to a really good start. Zoe did go over. I love the way Zoe won the match. Straight up dirty fucking roll over and grab the bottom rope. Referee, no way referee could have seen that. I think it was done well. I think the referee was in good position. This was the time where the referee did a good job in being in a position to count count down the pin, but at the same time missed that spot where she's grabbing the rope, where she, the dirty pin. So all that being said, Nikita Lyons can get it. Zoe Starks still reminds me of a jacked up Chris Kattan, and we move on.
Right. Real quick, if I could, on the when they started off hot, that was great because that told me the story already, and I was just joining. Right? I go, okay, this must be real. Like they got some backstory here. I do like on a hot startup like that, where if the heel's rocking and reeling, I do like a little bit more desperation from the heel to get out of it, instead of just rolling to the outside and throwing her into the post. Like I like a little more big, something to show me that the heel was like, oh my god, like that did not go as planned. They were just they were like their meat chop. They were just kind of fighting like girls, and I love that. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean like how girls fight. They pull their shirts over each other's heads. They grab their hair and they throw uppercuts. It's a different kind of physical encounter than the men fighting. And it should be. Just some nitpicking in ring is like I think Nikita Lyons needs to learn how to be fed a comeback. She's moving around the ring instead of staying dead center and letting the girl feed, because Zoe was feeding for her, but she's over in the corner.
Yep.
And then she's running all the way over to give her a clothesline. Not everybody needs to do. I'm so tired of it. No, not everybody needs to do a German suplex. It just doesn't need to happen. Every match, everybody needs to do it. It's if everybody does it, nobody does it. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing. And I'm really tired also of the 1-2 kick out. Like, okay, man.
Why can't somebody just like when somebody kicks out, they just get upset and just slam the mat instead of doing the whole. I'd probably do the 1,000-mile stare. Like, fuck, man. Here's my rule, man. Everybody's doing it. Do something else in wrestling. Be different. And you will stand out. And that's like, look, that's why Nikita Lyons stood out. Nobody looks like her. She's thick, baby. This program has a lot better looking women than the other ones. I will say that it's almost like a woman's show, the whole thing.
We had like a NWA Empower sandwich after the men's to start and the men to close, but it was like all ladies in the middle. It seemed like
3 women's matches, I think.
I'll take it. I'm sorry.
And like that's the thing, when they were fighting and fighting like girls, that's when it was good. But when they started to get into their little sequence for the finish, it got a little sloppy, right? And Zoe with her little spin kick, just because the setup looks cool. A lot of times they'll do like, hey, cool stance, flippity flip, and then it'll like raise them. It won't even, bro. If you're not gonna contact and you're not, if the execution and the moment of impact doesn't look good, you can fucking, spin tassels on your tits and, light fireworks out of your ass. It's not gonna be cool. It's not gonna work. Contact has to be there. So I think the Nikita Lyons is so different. I'm surprised she's not up there yet.
She's not ready.
She's not ready?
I don't think so. What do you think about it?
She looks so different. I'm shocked. Zoe Stark, didn't know a lot about her, but yeah, I think they did good for, this isn't the blow off though, because obviously they have business still because of the cheating. So I like it. It was good. I liked it.
But that buckle, yo.
The buckle.
That
MVP.
How you fitting them jeans?
Yo, I'm sorry. I mean, she is like exactly what I love in a woman.
Dude,
physically, it's just pretty face.
Beautiful.
All right, calm down, you two.
All right, fine.
Like, give me the earthquake splash.
Let's go to another.
I'll take a whoopee cushion.
We selling Baltimore burgers now after that. Anyway,
we are disgusting.
We get to transition right into more lovely ladies though, because Mackenzie, is backstage with Cora Jade, and they get before Cora can bitch for too long, Wendy just flies in out of the frame and starts beating the shit out of her like a psychopath. And right as that's, if we didn't see this on like 5 times a show on literally every show that has pro wrestling on it, this would be a little more impactful. And you could tell that even NXT is bored with it, because they just cut right away from this and go to Toxic Attraction getting ready to make their entrance. Like, well, these women are fighting, but whatever. We've got a match, so we don't have time to worry about that. That's one of my I don't know if I've added that to my bingo card, but my sports entertainment bingo card, but that's one thing that you see a lot, where people they'll get into a skirmish or something interesting will be going on and they'll just be like, but who cares? Because over here, You know, like we've got to keep this shit moving. We couldn't possibly. This means nothing. So
Give it
that's
air
what
to
they did
breathe.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's so
that's
many-
what they do here. It's like, well, these girls are right in the middle of a fight, and there's an interviewer caught up in it, but toxic attraction coming to the ring. You know, even though your boss got fired, but you're just gonna act like nothing happened and just come out here. So I guess these two dorks are sticking together. Now, Timmy.
Timmy was gonna say something. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was gonna say that there's so many tropes in wrestling they got to reimagine. The pretending the camera's not there when it is, that kind of pre-tape drives me crazy. The hop in the back, interrupt the promo with physicality, the not letting things breathe, the moving. I really think there are enough creative minds and enough people that understand the psychology but can bring some new breath to it. We need to rethink these things as a business. Now, that being said, I think the heat with these two, oh yeah, she called her see you next Tuesday on Twitter, right?
Yeah, so TikTok.
So, and then also I'm really like, man, this hits home for me. The backstage interviewer, there was a period in time where I was very, very close to becoming the ECW backstage interviewer, the WWE ECW one. And I mean, they tried me out ad nauseum to the point where they were throwing Hail Marys to get me. They brought in John Cena for me as a Danny Davis favor to interview him for a tryout thing. And I hate your thoughts. It's not a question. It's not, it's okay to set up the scene, but your thoughts is so lame, so lazy, but they encourage it. Stephanie McMahon pulled me aside and said, you are showing too much personality. I need you to be more like Todd Grisham. And
What? She said that to you?
Nice, he's a really nice guy. He really
I knew I wanted to hug that guy for a reason.
But he was just doing his job. He can do other things. But when she said that, I almost felt like, why? Like, they don't want someone who reacts like a normal person.
Hold on, dude. But this is like the anti Mean Gene Okerlund, who's like one of my heroes.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to be. Like the announcer, he's not getting over, but he has a personality, right? He's a person.
Put out that cigarette. One of my favorites, Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yes. And nope. They just wanted John Cena last week, Great Khali came to the ring and gave you the big chop and left you laying. Your thoughts.
Ugh.
And then I tried to even do that. And she goes, it's too much personality.
You kidding?
No. And she did it really in a nice way. So I'm like, am I being fucked with here?
Can I ask you a question, though?
Sure.
I mean to put heat on you or whatever, but Stephanie McMahon.
She's fine.
Right? She's like my childhood crush. Look at Vet's face.
She's she has that thing when she comes in the room. It's kind of like she's stunning a little bit,
right?
Because she's a taller woman.
Ooh, yeah.
And she talks to you. She looks you right in the eye.
Oh, I die. I die.
I got nothing bad to say about Steph. She was good to me. She was just telling me what they wanted, and evidently I don't know, man. Maybe I should have not tried as hard, I guess.
That's crazy. Like, it blows my mind how, because you look at back, like, oh my God, even like Tony Schiavone back in the day, he showed a ton of freaking like character and stuff like that. It's sad. It's almost sad that, like, to hear that, they don't want these. That's why I love, like, Mackenzie Mitchell. Like, I always compliment her. You probably caught her on a bad day.
No, I'm not saying she's bad. I'm saying the line.
No, but I'm saying that's not her.
Okay.
Usually every week she has this fun dialogue with all these different wrestlers, especially the guy, what's his name? Big Body Javi, Vet.
Yeah, Big Body Javi, yeah.
She has this fun, funny, entertaining dialogue. She makes these great facial expressions, like she's annoyed at the fucking wrestlers, like he's talking, she's like, oh God. It's great. And then you got this week, which is so out of the box for her. So maybe Stephanie came up to her and, you know.
it could, you know, I mean, they wanted me to hide my cane, like I had my disability, and I'm going, this is what makes me different. This is what makes me like vulnerable for somebody to get heat with if they need to.
Of course.
Like, Mean Gene was bald and a little mustache. You could tell he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He was like the old man, like, get off my lawn, you know? What's like a kid, like a cane and a limp? That's endearing, man. And all the guys were taller than me, but you know, shame on me for taking the biggest difficulty in my life that I've overcome and trying to make something of it. So
that's insane,
you know,
man.
Just be plain.
Could you imagine like a wrestler, like the heat of a wrestler actually grabbing the cane out of your hand and acting like he's gonna hit you with it?
It's happened a few places. Yeah, it's good. I mean, if it's done with the right guy or girl.
So Ray, you see now when I've told you all these things for all these months we've worked together, and
I'm sad. It makes me sad. It actually makes me sad that a company built on what it was built on, doing such cookie cutter generic bullshit.
Yeah, it got over by bringing in everybody who was the best ever at what they did at that period of time, and then as they got phased out, all we were left with were and I'm a fan of his, so I don't mean this as an insult, but the Todd Grishams of the world.
Yeah, so, no, you're right. It's strange because like they say you would be pulling attention from the talent, and I'm going, no. This is my talent is accentuating the talent.
That's crazy.
And I have to do that by being a person, not a robot. Otherwise, why have me? Put somebody, and that's a dangerous question. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, don't ask that.
Right, but at this point,
why have him?
Why? Yeah. Wait.
Well, here's the thing, though, Timmy. If there is talent in the room, it's not going to be pulled attention away by you. So what they're basically saying is, we ain't got shit, so don't outshine what shit we got. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You nailed it.
Oh, that's true.
There was no way you were coming out of that situation with the job. They already made up their mind when they saw you walk in the door, and then they just went through the motions. So same thing like you said earlier about like, well, we tried everything. We told them to tone down the personality.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they brought me up for 7 weeks straight. Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown. 7 fucking weeks. I go, I'm in, baby. I told my girlfriend, I got it. Then that 7th week came. I'm going, where's my itinerary? I didn't hear a word for 6 months. I was going crazy. I was probably an asshole. I'm sorry if I was, Vet, during that time. But then Dusty Rhodes called me. But it wasn't for announcing. And that's fine. I was able to utilize some of those skills. But yeah, it's not when I everything I thought it was and everything I tried to make accentuate and be talented and good with, they seem to have no use for.
That sucks.
Yeah,
that's so disappointing. I don't think you guys understand how disappointed I am to hear that.
Well, yeah, I was too, brother. Trust me.
I'm not surprised, but it's disappointing to hear it from somebody that's been there. Like I have a friend that he works with WWE now, and he kind of told me the same thing. He used to be a radio DJ here in New York, but it's the same shit. Like, you know, oh man, I'm just so sad.
All right, well, this will cheer you up. We're back at the Henley family bar.
Yes,
you know your old girl Fallon Henley and her family bar.
I'm gonna ask Timmy right now. Timmy, you and me seem to have like the same taste in women. Do you not find Fallon Henley to be absolutely stunning?
Yeah, she's beautiful. I wish she had that name is atrocious.
Yeah,
well. But she is.
Right.
Who cares about a name?
What did Jim Cornette say? He says something like, "No one on the planet is named that."
Fallon Henley.
Is that a real? I remember there was somebody introduced that guy. I was at a Shimmer show in Tampa and Ybor City once, and somebody introduced that pedophile predator Jason Rance, and I didn't know anything about it. And I said, "What?" And he said, "This is Jason." I said, "What ranch? Jason Rance? Is that a fucking name?" And she goes, "He's right here." And I go, "Oh man, hi." So I'm glad I found out later he's a diddler. Chasing Ranch. Is that your? What the fuck are we talking about? Anyway.
How dare you make Timmy feel bad for a second for not knowing your name, you piece of shit?
Yeah, you fucking
fuck you.
Fuck Sumoff
God,
rip off.
how's that guy still ever? Why are we saying? Let's never talk about that. Anyway, back to the bar.
Yeah.
So Kiana paid the debt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, very nice of her. So next week we're gonna have a bar on a pole match for the control. No, it is. That's essentially what it is.
It made sense
because Fallon Henley makes all the financial decisions for her family on USA Network without consulting with them. This has been going on for a while. We haven't seen her parents, so
they're in the back, drunk.
Is this Bar Rescue 2.0?
Yes.
And
I wish.
How cool would it be if they had that guy come out?
Oh, what's his name? The big angry guy.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Oh shit, that's eating muffins. Hold on there, Timmy. I'm sorry.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
Sorry.
Go on.
I wonder if the cookies are downstairs. Should I check? The
Nah.
Cookies? No.
Nah.
We have a listener that's been sending me cookies for a month and a half.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed. What if it's got like something in it?
I trust her, kind of.
Okay.
I asked her if they had weed in them.
Speaking of cookies, Fallon Henley.
Delicious.
I don't know. This is pretty funny to me. Like I walked into this not knowing what the hell was going on. Who are her parents? Where
Nobody
are
knows.
they?
They're in the back drunk. I just told you.
We only hear about her parents when she has to explain how the bar's not doing good.
Well, why can't she just say it's her bar? It's so weird.
The parents of the parents.
No one would believe somebody on an NXT developmental salary could own a bar.
Well, her parents died. She'd inherited. That's even more sympathy.
That makes more sense.
Then why the hell is she wrestling?
She's
a bee at the damn bar.
Look, man, I don't have all the answers, and neither do they.
Shit.
I could see that, like, these skits are silly, but kind of necessary sometimes. I saw the barbershop one time. I like that. But this one's, like, they cut to whatever that guy, the NWO Shiloh guy, the guy that looks like Shiloh, big guy. He was in the tag team at the end. So he's guilty because evidently he leaked information, right? That's what I got from it. To get them the bar. I don't understand. Like, here's the thing. And these women are all very hot.
Oh, yeah.
What are we doing? Like, is the bar's the heat? What do they want? What do they want this bar for?
She wants to turn into I don't know, a condo.
So like
they're doing the 80s real estate developer, and we're gonna have to do a fundraiser and get all the kids to break dance and raise money in the community so that
right.
you dude, he even not breakdancing, right? Because it's these hicks, but like you even heard Josh Briggs was saying, like, we could, if we win them tag team titles, we could, he's like talking about like doing stuff that could raise money for the bar. Yeah.
Car washers.
Yeah, you can't do that unless you have these developmental tag team championship belts. You can't do anything to raise money unless.
Don't forget, you get the gold, you get the big paychecks. That's
true. That's true. You do get a pay bump when you get a
belt. Well, our buddy Jimmy Long probably is directing a fair amount of these, not booking them, directing them. And I can tell too, because Jimmy's funny, man. He grew up idol, like just obsessed with like Full House and these family sitcoms. So you can tell from some of the cuts that seem like telling the story, but almost in an in-your-face way, because that's how those old sitcoms used to do it. So I can kind of tell when it's a Jimmy segment.
I hope if Jimmy's if he's ever heard a word I've said on these things, I hope he doesn't think that the heat is with that side of what is going on here. No, it's none of that. Kamikaze Kid, you hear me?
It's absurd. I mean, let's be honest. It's absurd, but at least it's something different. It's not at the arena. I'm gonna give them a pass on that. They're trying something. There's no other patrons. These men are just alcoholics. Apparently, they just keeping the bar open for 2 men.
Yep.
Well, no, there's a ton of other people there.
Are there?
Okay. I guess I don't know. Nobody knows anymore.
Is it even a real bar, or is it?
No. It's a set.
The Henleys don't have a bar over in
You can't go down to Orlando and
Buena Vista.
No.
The Henleys bar.
Nope, probably not. Well, let's
Not for
move
long.
along from this. We get the, we already saw Toxic Attraction make their entrance, but now we get the Diamond Mine is already in the ring, and the K-Sounds get to make their entrance. So, three-way tag team match. I don't envy anybody that had to have any part of putting this together, and there was some rough patches in it, but it was exciting enough for what they wanted. They just want a bunch of bodies to get in that ring and move around, and hopefully people won't change the channel. Spoiler alert, they did, but it was fine. It wasn't the ladies' fault. We've already established, Ray and I have established that Caden Carter and Katana Chance, she used to be what was her name? I
don't know, Cynthia Jones.
No, it's something with a K, right? Because
was it Caden Carter?
We called them the K sounds because all four of their names had a K sound. Yeah, exactly.
It's like ARSM.
Right.
Was it Katana something? Katana.
Well, it's Katana Chance now, but it used to be like somebody in the chat's going to put it. But anyway,
put in the chat, guys, please.
Yeah, Casey Catanzaro.
There you go.
So they tried to mess up my tag team name that I gave them, but it didn't work all the way. But Ray and I have decided, and we've come to the conclusion that these two are the greatest women's tag team of all time.
All time.
There's just no debating it. You can't. Don't even try.
Hey Tim, name a better tag team than the K Sounds right now.
Than the K Sounds right now.
That have been champions, that have had a run as long as these two, that have beat the amount of opponents that these two have beaten.
The chat couldn't do it. And they know everything.
How about the Blonde Bombers?
Sorry, Lonnie Kai and no.
I mean, that was a while ago, but
not even close.
Sorry.
Are you talking about the Jumping Bomb Angels?
Yes, the Jumping Bomb Angels. Yes.
We played one of their matches here.
Yes, they're wonderful. Yeah, this is what it is, right? I like the look of that Ivy girl. She's just green.
Ivy now, yeah.
She's got a cool, like little. I don't know if she's got like a Russian look, right?
She's a former MMA fighter.
Yeah, I grew up in poverty and ate cold potatoes and the ground was frozen.
I used to drink water.
She's not a Russian MMA fighter.
Well, I want her to be.
I know, but we can't always get what we want. She was I think she was like a gymnast and a power lifter or something like that. Whatever.
I thought one smart thing that happened was I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Toxic Attraction. Who were the other Toxic Attraction? Then you had the K Sounds. Who were the other girls?
The Diamond Mine, which is Paxum Tately and Ivy.
Not Ivy, the other one.
Paxum
the other one.
Okay. She put over the gimmick of the match early on, which was cool, where she went to almost tag the wrong corner.
Oh, I like that. Yes. Yeah.
Very smart to remind us what's going on here. Same old stuff. Slow down. You don't need to get it all in. It's WWE style. At least they at least on top, they seem to subscribe mostly to that let it breathe, make it mean, the mileage, less is more. It doesn't seem to trickle down, though, to a lot of the younger people who just fast forward, run through their shit, and you don't, I give kudos to anybody who slows down and works. And that absolutely doesn't mean doing moves. The finish was good, though, out of that choke and the
that was cool.
The lean back out of the reverse rear naked choke. Again, I'm sure Toxic Attraction is kind of in a limbo. They're probably a little lost.
Can I say
I'd be pissed if I were them.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please. It's your show.
No, it's our show. Like when I was watching Toxic Attraction, all I could think about was Mandy Rose.
Right.
And then also all I could think about was the fact that Gigi Dolan needs to cover up her tummy.
Look, man. Yeah, I'm not into that. Like, you and I are on the same page. Like, give me 10 Mandy Roses or Nikki Lyons or, Herschel Henley or whatever her name is.
Yeah, sure, why
over,
not? Herschel Walker.
It's not
It's
worse.
fine.
It's about the same.
That works.
Over that skinny heroin look.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is that, like, you're watching these two girls, and you're right, they must be absolutely devastated because Toxic Attraction was those three. If they were going to go to the main roster, it would have been those three. It would have been Mandy Rose going for the WWE title and those two girls going for the WWE tag team titles. Now, every time you look at those two, you think of Mandy Rose and what could have been. That's the thing that sucks. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. I've seen it happen a lot in developmental. I've seen it happen where somebody be it a tag team or a group or an angle together, somebody screws up or gets fired, and it's just square one. You're devastated, and it's showbiz. But no offense, like they can be angry with the company. I believe there's some, there's justification for some hurt feelings there, maybe, but they should be more like looking at Mandy like, dude, you had to have known better. And if she's making that much money, then she needs to be
$500K
straight up with people that she's affecting their lives. And that's short money, though. You know what I'm saying? That money came because she's a WWE superstar. Now that she's off TV, that subscription of her grinding on Homeboy's junk, you can go to the porn sites, you can see all of that.
And don't be fooled, because people are making a big deal of the fact that after 6 days after she left WWE, she made $500,000. But I agree with you. Okay, that's gonna fade away because people are gonna forget who she is. She's no longer Mandy Rose. She's just the next hot, fit, black, blonde chick on a porn site. You can find 1,000. You can find 1,000. Go to Pornhub. I'll show you 5 girls that look like Mandy Rose right now.
Yeah, you can categorically sculpt the star you want to see based on their search parameters.
You want to do that right now? Should we put the porn up here? Bet?
No, that's all right. We don't have to do that.
Send me the link.
Yeah,
I got you. I'll send you several links.
No, what you guys really want to talk about is Oro Mensa in this vignette here.
Ooh,
exactly. Let's move on.
So
we got. Yeah, we don't need to talk about.
He said something though, real quick.
Did you say oral menstrual?
That's what it sounded like to me. Oral menstrual.
I said the man's name is what I said. That's his birth given name. Yes.
That man said, "I'm not here for a long time, but I am here for a good time." That may prove to be accurate.
Yeah.
Word.
I've already think he's overstayed his welcome. This guy has been bland in NXT UK for years, and now he's here, and he hasn't done anything to show us any different.
But he's here to give oral to women on their cycle.
On this,
yes.
Oral menstrual.
Yes, in the club. So he's probably with Riddle up there.
We used to call that eating a jelly donut.
That's Deep South wrestling. We're in NXT now. Okay.
Just saying.
Roxanne is interviewed by Booker. I like this. It almost like even as fake and contrived as the setting is, and how the WWE can like almost excise any humanity from the stuff that they're shooting and just make it extra glossy and pretty and nice. I still they still touched me, like the little fist bump at the end. Like because it's legit regardless of how they're playing it up. So, I did like that.
Can I say that this was my
Shuggy Duggy Quack Quack
moment of the night?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was sentimental. It was touching. I think it was a little. I think they should have left out, like, why did you choose to take your shot that night instead of the pay-per-view? Well, because she got fired.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, well, I heard the news about Mandy, and I was like, I'm going to get in this bitch's head.
I
think, that's what the majority of the public may have been thinking. So maybe I don't know. They should have stayed away from that. I don't know. But it was a good sentimental segment. It was really good.
All right.
Well, was there anything like? Did you like the simplicity?
Yes.
Of the way it was shot.
I did. I did. I agree with the glossed over. Everything is really overproduced in WWE. Sometimes NXT, the lights flash and gives me a headache almost. So bright.
There you go, guys. By the way, I'll put this up so you guys can see this. This is the moment we're talking about.
Yeah, the fist bump. And do you have any advice for me? And I mean, it was cool. It was cool to see the to document her journey, because that's real. And personal issues draw money, and this is very personal. So now we know that her and Booker are kind of on the same page, and what that can lead to is a lot of things you can get Booker involved in on a small occasion to further an angle. You know what I mean? That's her Jim Ross to Stone Cold. So I did enjoy that, and I think Roxy has she has the goods, man. It's been a quick ascension, and there's a lot of these girls are trained by Damian Adams. I don't know if she was, but
she's from Booker's school as far as I know.
That's right. But the office seems to really like her, and
we all do.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I saw her. Her reputation preceded her before I ever got a chance to see her, and when I did see her, it was against a Damian Adams. It was against Deonna Purrazzo. Like, they had a match. I don't remember what, in Impact maybe, or something like that. And just from that one match, I was like, "Holy shit! Where has this child been all my life? Like, what? Who taught her how to do these things? She's so good. You wouldn't even know how good she is from watching the stuff she's done in NXT so far. But like, it's because they have a certain way they do things there. But yeah, she is very much the real deal. So how that will transition to her future career, I'm very excited to see. Hopefully, with the new management, she'll be protected.
Remember, she made it clear that she dreamt all her life of becoming the NXT Women's Champion.
I don't buy that. That's weird.
Oh,
that's
she
weird,
wanted to be.
right?
She wanted to be the youngest.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't think I buy that. Like, what? I don't think her whole life there's been an NXT. Maybe there. I'm bad with time.
There wasn't. Well, actually,
think about it. In 2014, she could have been a child liking NXT. Of course.
How old?
That would have been.
She's
21.
21.
She's 21, so she would have been like.
Let's see.
What was that 13?
When
13 when NXT started with like the Baileys, the Beckys, the Sashas, the Charlottes. Like, that's the perfect time for a young girl to decide she wants to be a wrestler. Seeing those four, like, you very well could have a dream of being the NXT champion
she
at
was
that
8 years
age.
old. She was 8 years old. About
wow.
Wow,
so
when
her
NXT
story
started.
checks out. I apologize.
Well,
Sorry, Roxy.
Yeah,
sure?
You apologize to poor Roxy.
Sure, she didn't want to be WWE
and now NXT is going to have to apologize to you because we get Apollo Crews.
Oh God, no.
And he's in the ring cutting a promo, and he should be apologizing for the promo he's cutting, but instead he gets interrupted by Carmelo Hayes. So we get to see our second dose of Mello here. Ray, these are two very bland gentlemen on the mic, and that's putting it nicely. Do you have any tips? You have any tips for these guys?
Do I have any tips?
Yeah.
Take 2 weeks off, quit the business.
Brother, let me tell you something, man. Tips, I have none. Okay. All I can say is that, are you eating more muffins?
I was just remembering this, so I needed to. 'Tis the season, guys.
All right,
little Christmas tree.
I guess it's fine.
I get it.
Listen, Apollo Crews is incredibly gifted when it comes to physicalities. All right, he's a physically gifted man. Not in height, but in strength and athleticism. The guy has a $1 million smile with a, forgive me for saying this, a 10-cent personality. They tried to slap the whole African king gimmick on him. Couldn't get it over.
Poor guy. No, don't blame him. Don't blame him for that.
I can't blame him for that.
No. You can't.
No
one could have got that over.
With spears, bro. That's really fucked up, in my opinion.
You think so? You think that's
I think it's a little...
He's a little racist?
A little racist. Sending the guy out there with spears in 2022.
I swear, veteran, if you chew fucking loud, bro. And there he goes. Okay, that's fine. No, I can't really give any advice to these gentlemen. I mean, these guys are two professionals. Who am I to say that, you should maybe look in the mirror and practice these things over and over again. Maybe watch some old Charlie Chaplin movies and learn how to do facials. Yeah. So go ahead, Timmy.
Look outside of wrestling, for fuck's sake.
Hello.
Hello.
It's really that simple, guys.
Charlie Chaplin, the greatest comics in the world. Bugs Bunny was what they emulated back in the day. You know what I mean? You got to look outside your bubble. That being said, man, Apollo Crews, right? Everybody seems to like him. He can do everything in the ring, but it's that one thing missing. That being said, this is the most, at least him, I've seen him ever be on the mic, as far as just seems to be talking like himself. That doesn't. So what am I saying? It means he's not that dynamic of a person. Like, he doesn't have the verbal acumen. And, it's a lot of people don't realize this. And a lot of people in the business don't realize this. There's so many types of promos that sound and feel different, in the sense that you got the ones backstage that are pre-taped, the skits, so to speak. You got the interviews backstage that are sometimes pre-taped, sometimes live. And then you got these monologues in the ring. Completely different animal that, you should probably rehearse, because you're going to hear your voice. It's going to take a minute to get the feedback. And a lot of guys don't even realize that. And they go out and do these things and they wonder why it's the shits, because it's a different animal. I thought he did. I mean, I wasn't asking for much, so I was pleasantly surprised.
You didn't see this, did you? No.
The intensity.
Needed the bloody eye gimmick. No.
Well, somebody at NXT really loves the Equalizer, because they kept putting Apollo in these diner skits. And
I saw that. You're right. It was
Jesus Christ.
And so it's like, at the very least, you could watch some Denzel Washington movies. But I'm not saying he has got to be Denzel Washington. What you're saying, though, Timmy, is like, okay, not everybody has to be Dwayne Johnson. But if you can just be, even if you're a little boring, as long as you're genuine, then the people will buy it.
Yeah. At least
and he feels
Valentine.
Apollo Crews always feels like he's like trying to do the WWE code of polish on his normal personality. Like, he can't just be gritty and whatever he is. It's got to be like the polished version of the real me. It's like, I think just a little rough edge on it would be fine. It's okay. It's all right. But
yeah,
is it entertaining television for the majority of people? Not everybody has my patience. Do
you think they're afraid because they're so untrained, and maybe they don't have like a background? Let's say like Ben, who has a background in what do you call it?
Improv
and stuff like that. You think they're afraid they're going to be like, brother, and when I come to the ring, I'm going to fuck you up. On live TV or something like that. They just can't control their vernacular.
I think there's, whenever there's a push for the boys and girls to do their own promos and not have writers, I think, about 10%, 15%, sometimes you'll get gold and good and something good, but the rest we're seeing at AEW is awful. It's awful, because these egos and that we're dealing with, they're not as good as they think they are. So to go out there and think you got it in the bag, but the proof's in the pudding, and do I think they worry about them going out and doing that? No, but I think they worry about them going out and going way too long and not saying all the bullet points that they know. If they hand them that sheet with the things to say, that if they don't say it, they'll get in trouble. But if they say it even shitty, they can pull from it what they need. But if they go out there sight unseen, without a net, they don't know what they're going to say. So they don't know how it's going to go. So it's a safety precaution. Anybody who goes off script is way up there and has earned it. even if you go off script and it's good, you're gonna get some kickback if you haven't earned it yet. And this whole promo, they were just kind of weirdly putting each other over, right? It's like, you and me are the exact same, except we don't have the title. Grr. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't know where the heat is. I get it that they're parlaying into a feud between these two. So we're just gonna see a lot of cool moves well executed, and that's not my type of wrestling.
Yeah.
You want to eat the muffin? Right.
No, that's all right. One per offense is fine.
Okay. Sorry.
And they're cookies. God damn it! I don't know what's so hard for you to understand about that.
You know what's gonna happen, Vet? I've been noticing. And I'm sorry, I have to stop the show real quick, Timmy. I've been noticing. We're gonna do a little intervention here. But... Would you shut up? You've been eating a lot in these shows, and I know you're quite a fit young man, and I worry about your cholesterol and your heart. Can you please stop watching wrestling?
Goodbye, everybody. I'll just back on out. No, yeah, no, it's just what it is.
I have a celery steak. I'm just.
Well,
did Carmelo call him Apollo a future Hall of Famer?
He did.
I think he
That's
did.
A little generous, isn't it?
Bold of him to assume that you will be a future. Well, okay, so here's what's the one intriguing thing about this. Okay, if I can just, I'll put a positive bow on it, and then let's move the fuck on.
Yeah, we got to finish up.
We got a guy that tried to get to a certain level and fell short. Then we got a guy who's not even been to that level yet. So this is the point on the mountain where they meet in their respective journeys. That's what's intriguing about this. If you don't find that intriguing, you're just gonna have to change the channel whenever they're on from now on.
It's the two Rams at the top of the mountain. Just who's gonna get knocked off. So we'll see.
All right. So next is a little short backstage thing with your boys and Yes Boys. So
Yes Boys.
Yes, boy.
So again,
love them. Love those guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't get to see a match with them right now. They've got to go through a labors of Hercules type situation. We have to get all these impossible gifts for the New Day to placate them. Whereas these hillbillies, all they had to do was recite the Pledge of Allegiance and they got a title shot. So not necessarily fair, but them's the breaks for the foreigners. Speaking of foreigners, Isla Dawn's apparently she just waits around backstage on equipment to blow powder in people's faces when they walk by, or just Alba's face.
That was cayenne pepper, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was something like that, right? It did burn. And was that who was that guy that showed up to help? Was that Steve Corino?
No, that was his name is James Alexander. He's an independent wrestler from the Northeast, and he was over in Germany for a long time. He's married to Killer Kelly, I think.
Interesting. Well, yeah, you're right. The guy was in much too good a shape to be Steve Corino. So the fun guys, that's what I'm going to call this Idris and Malik and Odyssey group. I'm just going to call them the fun guys because they just seem to be like they're about having fun. I don't know how. I can't give them a clever. Give them a clever name. They don't have even if I wanted to go with a racial stereotype, they don't fit any. So the only thing I can say they have in common is they just like to have fun. They talk about going out after the show all the time. That's it. And they meet Schism in the parking lot, which is the opposite of fun. So, yeah,
and
I don't know.
Rock's daughter.
Yeah, that's Rock's daughter and a bunch of white guys. So what'd you think of the, I'm just going to ask Timmy what you've seen of Schism, and is this all you've seen of it? Any thoughts on Joe Gacy? Whatever you have to say about it.
I've seen a little bit of Schism. I've seen a fair amount of Joe Gacy's stuff with NXT. I feel like a lot of it is it doesn't feel super real. It feels like people playing crazy.
Right. It doesn't feel genuine.
It doesn't feel genuine. I know they seem to like it because it's a character you can plug into a lot of places to be a foil. I think there's something about He looks like a pudgy kid, smiling, like he doesn't strike me as this charismatic leader, right? And that's what it would have taken to get this cult. But the good news is it won't fail because of who he has with him now.
Yeah, well, yeah, insurance policy. So someone brought this up in the Impact Attack chat. It's just like, can we stop with the cult leaders? Like, why does this have to be and I made the point that, look, every pro wrestler is already a cult leader. You know, each individual person is like, hey, buy my merch, buy tickets to see me, you know, like sign up for my OnlyFans, whatever the case. Like there are their own cult leaders. We don't need the inception of a cult leader inside of a cult leader group of cult leaders.
They call it their brand. So it's a little softer than cult leader. It's my brand. I'm a brand.
Yeah, no. But seriously though, the actual specific cult leader gimmick is going on too many times with too many different things. Right now, besides, like, he doesn't have a cult anymore, but Bray Wyatt's still there. You've got this fucking guy down at NXT. You got the Eric Young and now Cody Deaner's group that's doing the same shit. Everybody wants to be like a guy that speaks in poetic, cryptic quotes and stuff like that and has a bunch of people like with glazed eyes following him. I don't understand how this translates into, let me hold your shoulders down for 3 seconds. I just don't. I'm done with it.
You got House of Black, you got the Judgment Day, you got a lot of cultish. I mean, it's just kind of an easy go-to, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Got to be more creative, and that's Rock's daughter. And
I'm still waiting on her to close her mouth.
Right, she's a handsome woman, huh?
Isn't she? I mean, she is, like, if you look, that is The Rock circa 1996.
Her eyes are a little crooked.
Well,
I'm diving in, huh?
Nobody's perfect.
Here's the deal. You know, my wife wants to fight me on this shit because that is her man. But Dwayne Johnson's face, this is Dwayne Johnson's face, not what we see today. You feel me? You get it? Is
that for Black Adam? Is that a promotional pic from Black Adam?
This
now
right
streaming
here,
on HBO Max?
That picture right there is what is it? When he played with the Hurricanes. That is The Rock. When he was with the Hurricanes. So she's missing the porn star.
In Miami.
She's gonna chase Andre Chase up into the stands, right? All right. Well, anyway, Alba fires with the doctor, and then Waller runs in and he says, you know, hey, if you see Braun Breaker,
that was great.
Which is funny because she can't see at all. She just got stuff in her eyes. Get it? All right.
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, now here, as we're already, you know, like way over time, but here's the part where I'm glad that Timmy's actually on this week, because this is what I have a specific question for a commentator pro like yourself. Indy Hartwell versus Carmen Sandiego. Who cares about what happens in the match? But this one part at the finish, she gets the brass knucks out of the turnbuckle. The camera is shooting it right there. Okay? They see her pull the knucks out of the thing. They see her punch her in the face with the knucks. The ref doesn't see it, but all of us saw it. And the commentators are sitting there pretending that they didn't see it until they show the replay. And then they're like, oh, there it is. Like, oh, that shot of exactly what we were looking at 10 seconds ago. There it is. So if you're in that situation and they blatantly do that, are you Timmy, are you just going to call what you see knowing that you're going to stooge it off anyways? Or are you going to run the play and do the way they told you it was supposed to go, even though production may have, you know, made a gaffe there and not should have directly, you know, it wasn't a gaffe because they wanted us at home to see it. But the announcers are watching the monitors, so they're seeing the feed. So there's no way that they could have possibly missed her fidgeting with a turnbuckle and pulling out a shiny pair of knuckles, right? So that's my question to you is talk about this situation and what would you have done in that?
If one of the number one rules as a commentator, play-by-play especially, the people have to trust you. They have to think and know that you absolutely know what you're talking about, that you are a credible source. The second you start to like placate or dumb yourself down in the eyes of the audience, you lose them. So if you can't maintain that trust that you're not going to be blind to certain obvious things, that you're going to call it as you see it, you're going to lose the audience. What I would do is, if I was directed to do that, I would raise my hand and say, we are the trusted component of this broadcast. If I see it, I have to call it. Even if I have to stall calling it, as in like,
that's fair.
That was something shiny for sure. That there's something's afoot, right? Like, you have to make mention at least, because it was blatant. Now, I don't know if that was a situation. I highly doubt it was a situation where they just didn't see it and then called it.
Impossible. Impossible.
Right? So for them to tell their announcers to not see it until the replay, number one, it didn't serve the purpose of furthering the story anymore. It didn't do anything. It wouldn't have hurt or been detrimental for the commentators to keep their credibility in calling it. Just like a referee has to keep their credibility. If you're at that desk, the people are inviting you into their house and you are talking for 2 hours, and that's a lot of hearing your voice. If they start to turn on you because they don't trust you, think you're full of shit, you're annoying, they're going to hit mute or they're going to change the channel. It's a very important component of commentary to be trustworthy and to have that trust with the audience.
Timmy, I heard that the most important component of commentary is to not have a personality. Would you care to comment on that?
That's funny.
Okay. Per advice of my counsel, I am pleading the fifth to not self-incriminate.
Fifth? Okay. Well, Alba is cleared apparently for her match with Sol Ruka, and judging by Sol Ruka's current skill level, I think that she wouldn't need to see to be able to beat her. But anyway, then we get Mackenzie with Wes Lee. This was nothing. Then we get Sol Ruka versus Alba Fire, except nope, it's not. It's Isla Dawn coming in and breaking her arm in that phoniest of ways, where you stick, you put their hand in between the stairs and they pretend they can't get it out, and then you hit the stairs with a bat, and somehow that shatters every bone in their entire body.
How does that work?
Well, you see the vibrations from the metal going through the metal, the tremors actually get through, shock right into the bone. It pulverizes the entire bone. So it just looks like someone poured a bunch of pixie sticks now inside of her arm. That's what it looks like.
Right. So it's just like a skin and marrow, melted marrow.
Yes. It's really gross. The trainer in the NXT room is not going to be able to handle it. Trust me.
Well,
they're going to have to go to a medical facility for. Oh no, they can go to hospitals now. It's okay.
Yeah. Backing up one sec, they, during that women's match, it is a women's show, man. That Elektra Lopez, I hate to back up. They said at one point she felt slighted being out of the title picture. Mm-hmm. She feels slighted because she didn't get called up, and they put what's her face with with the, you know what I mean? There's a lot of like weird backhanded stuff going on under the surface on this NXT subtext, if you will. And then the plugging of the Undertaker's, Christian agenda speaking engagements, that was interesting. I don't know. Are we at the NXT title match, the tag titles?
Not yet. Have we even gotten Andre Chase University yet?
No, we're right about to get to that.
Right.
So okay. Christmas gifts for Andre Chase. All right, everybody's lining up.
Fat.
Somebody say Andre Chase. No, no one said that.
But you know what we have?
What we have right now is a teachable moment.
Yeah, so all the students are lining up to give their beloved professor gifts, and we find out what apparently Scott didn't know is that that he's allergic to fruitcakes, you motherfucker. So
fantastic. Yeah.
Now I don't know if you guys caught this, but one of the students that's further down in line had another fruitcake, but it was in bar form, and she did not step out of line. No. You're thinking of the person that had the same the cake-shaped fruitcake, right?
It's this young lady right here.
Yeah, see it? She's got the bar fruitcake, right?
Yep, she sure does.
Yep. But She didn't step out of line. And then there's young Alex behind her. He's got a lovely plaque that he wants to give. Duke Hudson comes in, does the Duke Hudson thing. Now, Duke Hudson, we all know he's up to something, or at least we assume he is, right? But now, this is, I think, Ray, and maybe you can correct me, is this the first time that he's actually caught on film? Like, they could actually go back and see what he did here, unlike the other times where it's just his past attitude is informing, like, what everybody thinks of him. But now we've just seen him blatantly trick this man out of... No, he got caught on camera before in the classroom, like stealing pencils and other stuff, right? That son of a bitch. That motherfucker.
Tim, what Vet seems to not understand is that we are able to see these things and they are not. There are no cameras in that classroom.
No.
We are able to look into this WWE/NXT universe and see what's going on. They are not privy to this magical television thing.
It's fourth wall, yeah.
Right.
Well, I forgot too. Don't forget, like, the WWE has the tech that they can just broadcast people's dreams right onto the USA Network too.
Right.
So
Apollo Crews, he can see the future and shit.
Apollo Crews and Wendy Chu, like when she goes to sleep, and then we get to see what she's dreaming about. Like, so they're not sharing that tech with the world, but they're giving it to us.
Well, you wouldn't want that to get in the hands of somebody like Vladimir Putin.
No, not even or Vladimir Kozlov for that matter.
Right.
Kozlov. Oleg would run amok with it. I'll even give the dream stuff a pass because logically, maybe I could see like her setting up that skit with production, maybe. Man, it's not going to go away until something better and different comes along. It's just the cringe of pretending this camera isn't there is just, let me put it to you this way. If it ever served a purpose, that purpose has been served. It's time to move on and figure out another medium for doing these things. I guess back in the day before Attitude, there wasn't much backstage stuff except an interview, right? So that came with the Attitude Era, all the backstage interactions. I feel like if you don't have that some sort of realism attached to it, I know the audience has been conditioned to just not question that, but I think we should be functioning on a bit of a higher level.
Would you start shooting the WWE as if it were the real world, like a reality show type thing, that they know that everybody, no matter where they are, they know there's always cameras on them, and they acknowledge the cameraman every once in a while, like, come on, get the fuck out of here, that type of thing? Would you move forward that way to bring some type of realism, and knowing that in the classroom, that since you work for the WWE, you signed the contract that says there will be cameras everywhere following you. This is your life now. This is, and this could lead into certain wrestlers getting frustrated, and it could be leading to storylines where, they want to be left alone, but they can't. You have a wrestler going to take a shit and there's a cameraman there, or going to fill up his tank, his car with gas, and there's a fucking cameraman there, that type of thing. His credit card is declined. I'm saying it's embarrassing. Boom, another thing. Is that would you go that route?
Ray, I think that's a brilliant idea. And there it is. There's your out. If you can make that canon and make that part of the deal, as opposed to making them look stupid, making us feel stupid, that they have full access, or that a guy go, cameraman, come with me, about to fucking go beat somebody's ass. I think we need to stop these things of the oblivious to the camera while shenanigans are happening and we at home see it, but they don't know. I think we need to stop the interviews where somebody jumps from just off camera, like they've been standing there the whole time. Why? Because they've been standing there the whole time. You'd think the camera would move real quick, like something to just a little, and I think a little goes a long way.
Little realism goes a long way. Yeah, little realism goes a long way.
Right. And even like TNA at one point was shooting it like kind of reality TV, if you remember. Impact was like
during the Hulk Hogan, when Bischoff and Hogan was, I remember that. Yeah.
They peek around the corner, kind of, it was a little more voyeuristic, but I go, okay, cool. Like I can live with that because, man, you're never gonna get them to believe. But I don't want to put the blatant, just the blatant choreography and phoniness of it all right in their face. I think that's a mistake. And guess what? They're doing it, and they've been doing it for decades now, and we're paying for it. That's why we're paying for it.
And even and one quick thing, even in the classroom, if you look at most of these videos that go viral of kids in classrooms, where are they shooting those videos from?
Cell phone.
Most of those skits can be shot on a cell phone.
Somebody clowning him because he's teaching this class and going, "Oh my God, this guy!"
Right?
You know?
You can hear whoever that is off screen. Look at Mr. Chase. He's about to lose it again.
Oh my God! Right? There it is. There it is. Because he's running a closed door classroom like a true heel would. You know what I mean? He doesn't want these secrets and these lessons to get out there in the wrong hands or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. Or to people not paying the tuition or whatever a heel would do. So I think, the case is there's a way they do it, and anybody that would stand up to that or try to change it would be in for the fight of their life or be fired. It would just be too much pushback, so they go with the flow. But somebody eventually is going to have to die on that hill.
Well, it's not. No one is, because the only time it's ever going to change is when the person at the top decides it's going to change, whoever that may be at that current time.
But they may have to pitch it to them and make them see it's right, but they don't like what they hear right away, and they go home and process it and maybe come back. But I don't think whoever suggests it and really goes for it is going to have a job thereafter. These are dangerous questions that a lot of people won't ask because they got their spot, and I can't blame them. Because at the end of the day, do you want to get a check or do you want to change the business?
Well, the worst part of it is that as the WWE goes, so goes everybody else, because they still, for whatever reason, look to them as the standard of like, well, we got to do it like that. Even when they don't mean to, they're accidentally doing stuff that never existed before Vince McMahon took over. So it doesn't, it's never going to change.
How many indies in the 2000s, every single indie had their heel promoter or heel manager. They had their Vince McMahon. Every indie, they don't know what they're doing. They're not bookers. They don't understand. So they're just recreating and respouting an even worse version of what they watched on Mondays.
Sure.
Yes. Now Mackenzie she's with the Country Trio, and then Kiana walks in with her assistant, and she wishes Jensen luck. And then Mackenzie kind of gives her a look, and she's like, "What? I may be all business, but I'm still a woman." And then that's what we get.
Nothing wrong with that. Shit.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with asking Drew Gulak for wrestling advice, as Hank Walker does here. This is this is almost like something that could really happen.
I was thinking the same shit.
So I was shocked to see it on this program. I'm like, what the did I fall back asleep and am I dreaming now? Like, what is this? They actually have something that might happen in real life on an NXT program? So anyway, I don't think, it's pretty self-explanatory. Hank asked Gulak for advice. Gulak he's like, yeah, come by. Okay, there you go.
Come by just to watch.
Yeah, just to watch. He's not allowed to participate. Right. Even though he's already having matches and everything. So
you haven't paid me yet.
Yeah, you haven't bought your copy of WWE 2K22, where I'm featured. Pledge of Allegiance title match is next. It's the Country Duo versus the New Day. This is it was let me tell you one thing that happens in this match that is almost like a microcosm example of like what's wrong with the way people think about putting matches together these days. There's a spot in this match where Kofi goes for he comes off the ropes and goes for like a flying back elbow. And then Jensen catches him around the waist like he's going to suplex him out of the air. And what does he do after that, Ray? Do you remember?
I think he puts it Kofi, if I remember, he lands in his arms and he just tries to get out, but he just gives up, right? Is that what you're talking? And then he just puts him down. He spins him around.
Jensen puts Kofi down and pushes him into the rope so that he can come. When Kofi comes back, he can hit him with a move.
Fucking throw him.
So we've completely it's no secret we've completely lost the idea that this whole thing is based on grappling and I want to get my hands on you, and wrestling is about grabbing the guy or gal and holding him or her down as long as you can. Hopefully 3 seconds, but If not 3 seconds on your back, maybe I can hold you down and wear you down. That's the entire psychology of everything. You can put as many bar rescue scenes or, cult leaders or any bullshit dressing on it you want. If you don't have a sport to base this on, then all you're doing is watching horrible television. Horrible. So you can't think like this. If you get your hands on a guy in a suplex move, you gotta suplex him. I know you don't love German suplexes, Timmy, but here was a perfect gift wrap German suplex for Jensen, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna put you down on your feet, shove you to the ropes, and then you're gonna come back and, oh shit, you punched me. Who could have foreseen this? Like, at this point, you lost me. I don't even care what the rest of you do. New Day's way better than this. These other two guys are not, but they should still know better. And Josh Briggs, who we've said has had he's got the best hot tag comeback in wrestling right now. Mm-hmm. You didn't see it tonight. Mm-mm. He just did a bunch of sloppy, fucked up shit. No rhythm, no safety. Throwing them guys up on the thing like, okay, that bouncing spot, but then when they come down and he's just clubbing them in the mouth with that shitty clothesline, like, there's no way to take that bump. You could tell he was doing it for the first time right there. So, yeah there's just,
do we want to break another guy in New Day's neck? Like,
but what about the moonsault?
What about the moonsault? Did it look like he landed on his face? But I could have just
land on Kofi.
Yeah, that could have been an optical illusion. Maybe he got him square, but the camera angle made it look like he landed on his fucking face. The only reason I think he didn't
kill Kofi on that one.
The only reason I think he didn't is because there wasn't a fountain of blood and teeth all over the ring.
Well, I will say that when real quick, guys, we noticed these little things. He did the fucking moonsault, right? Landed on his fucking neck, on Kofi's neck. When he did the pin and he grabbed his leg, he's talking to Kofi.
Yeah, are you okay? I think I landed on your
brother.
Yeah.
Are those your teeth in my fucking thigh?
Right.
Stuck in my thigh. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, are you biting me or no? That's just your teeth are just embedded. Okay.
Thigh.
Yeah. So yeah, and then my final note on this is like, so of all the people in this match, you couldn't find a way to get the lovesick idiot to lose. You had to pin the giant guy.
Right.
This is a rib. It's a rib on these guys. And that's all it is. But that's what I saw. What about you, Timmy? Anything?
Yeah, I saw something interesting, and it bothered me a little bit. I think it was Jensen came in the ring to feed Kofi's comeback, but he didn't bump for him. And I don't think maybe it was a false comeback. Maybe it was, but he was doing that's a former WWE champion. Not as big, but man, Kofi's got that status. I thought that's an interesting choice. I wonder whose it was to chop down the big man. Like Kofi's been in there with everybody. I don't think that was the right choice. He's not 7 feet tall. He's just a big dude, and that's a WWE champion at one point and a household name almost. One of the most over guys of the past, decade. Bump for this guy, man. Feed his fucking comeback, right? And the manhandling of those two, they're very giving. I'll say that. They were very giving to these guys, and I hope they bought them a steak dinner because they were giving, and these guys are dangerous. They're a lot of elbows and knees and ass and hips that are like 6'3", 250. That's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. And the manhandling of New Day, I mean, they put him over, but it felt unsafe. Everything from that toss him up clothesline to both of them, catching them on the moonsaults. They're just putting over these guys' size, and they did a good job doing that. And then they beat them, but these aren't, in my opinion, these aren't the guys for that. They're just not. It's just that's not their. That's not for them to do.
Not their forte.
Especially the New Day. I think it could have been competitive. I think you could have gotten the same reaction without threatening their livelihood and well-being. But Kofi and Woods, they're genuinely good sports, and
ultimately it's up to them though, right, Timmy?
They don't need to be doing this, right? They don't need to be doing this, but they are. It's a good look for the company that they do it. They're company men. But it would be nice if they could get out of Orlando with their spinal columns intact.
It's too bad you didn't get a chance to see them against Pretty Deadly. That match is the total opposite of this match. Where Pretty Deadly were just everything. Remember that everything was just smooth. It was so much character work on both sides of the match. It was just wonderful, man. It was just beautiful. It was a clusterfuck. Like there were several spots like Timmy and Vet are both basically saying that these guys could have really hurt the New Day. I don't see it the other way around, to be honest with you.
And I don't see the value in not bumping for Kofi. Does anybody sit there and go, "Oh, this guy must be a badass. He's not bumping for Kofi." It just kind of makes Kofi look inadequate.
Former WWE World Heavyweight.
And this is, and you're talking about the smaller of the two guys, right? Like in the beginning of the match, like he just would not go down. He would like stagger, step around, and all this other. I'm like, bro, what are you, like 6'1"? Get the fuck out of here! Like, what do you?
I think you got some bad advice, man. Because I remember there was an issue. This is a long time ago. Because I used to be tight with Cliff Compton, and he would tell me like, "Man, Deuce isn't bumping for anyone up here. He's getting so much heat." Like, I think that's even a famous story. Brian Kendrick is like, hates Deuce because he didn't bump for him.
Deuce was also like, "I ain't catching the Undertaker."
Yeah, Deuce was right. So it's just like, at some point, Brock Lesnar should stall the bump, right? Brock Lesnar can stall the bump. Braun Strowman can stall the bump, but bro, you ain't there yet.
Jensen?
Jensen?
Brooks Jensen?
What is this?
He may not be a two-time Hall of Famer like Roxanne will,
and he's not a future Hall of Famer like Apollo Crews. But
right,
I mean, it doesn't. And first of all, if you're gonna do that non-bumping feed comeback, there's a way to hit those ropes and make it look vicious and solid. Terry Funk knows how to do it. This guy does not. So go back to the lab, young man, or go back to the bar and get some drinks.
Yeah, go back to the bar and cost your friend to lose it.
How about that the dress, that high dress on that girl sitting down?
My goodness. You're talking about the assistant, right?
Yeah.
With the
we've been talking about her
stockings.
Sweet month.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh my God. And we're mad at Mandy Rose.
Sorry.
She's a BJJ expert.
Yeah,
she is. I'm sure she is, brother.
All right. So anyway, Stax psychs himself up to go in and talk to Dijak, and then we don't know what happens after that. They never go to it. And then Waller talks some shit, and then Indashare meets Diamond Mine in the parking lot, and they're like, they say what they say. It's nothing interesting. Nothing happens. It's a very calm parking lot tonight. No one beaten. No one kidnapped. It's just like, again, I'm watching. Is this really NXT? No one kidnapped in the parking lot?
We do not trust you.
Yeah, we do not trust you. All right. So then Waller finally gets his ass in the ring and starts talking all that shit. And then Braun arrives finally. He pulls up. He's late to work. I'm sure he won't be reprimanded. And then they do the Brett Goldberg. And this is just stupid. I mean, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Time out. Brett Goldberg with a fucking cookie sheet.
With the cookie sheet.
I mean,
so that he could dent it.
Right. Bret Hart.
Also, when you take a shoulder to the cookie sheet, does that knock you completely out? I don't know. I've never done it, but yeah, I kind of feel like,
you know how Ben says show don't tell, right? All right. Show the fucking metal. Don't pull it out and drop it and let everybody see it. It's like an aluminum foil cover. You know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck my life.
And the Bret Hart moment,
I
don't know. That was like, you remember, maybe it was the crowd that made it, but Goldberg, he speared him, and it was that moment they were down, and Bret gets up, and then the people, that was kind of like, that's a memorable moment of the heel out thinking this uncontrollable wild man baby face. Here it fell flat, didn't it? I don't know if it's
because we've
not,
seen
like-
it before. We knew it. We knew it was. I knew
Right.
it was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, Grayson Waller's wearing a fucking goose down jacket in the ring. Never does. Just so you know that, Timmy.
Okay.
Never wears anything like that in the ring. And I see Braun Breaker. Now I know in my mind, Braun Breaker is one of his finishing moves is a spear. Oh my God, are they doing the Goldberg Bret Hart thing again? I saw it coming the whole fucking way. And then I'm telling you, the worst part is when he pulled it out of his fucking jacket. Why are you pulling it out? Just show it. Just show the metal. I don't. I'm sorry.
Well,
guys.
did he even ham it up though? Like, did he get him off and like kind of like start laughing and going?
He did.
No,
I
he
yelled
didn't,
smart.
right?
I yelled smart at you. Yeah, he did. On
did?
the ramp as he was signing off. Yeah.
I think you got to come for that moment to be real. The people have to start to realize with you. It's like a slow, you know, and to do that exactly right. It just felt. Is this the first time this has been done since then? The Goldberg
Hopefully.
thing?
Yeah, it hasn't been done since then.
Yeah, what if he, and again, just to go back to the thing, what if he, you know, let's forget about all that. Let's just say, what if he just came in the ring and punched you right in the mouth and forego the spear entirely? He's like, no, punch me in the stomach, punch me in the stomach. Yeah. Yeah, what if he shot you in the face? I already did that line last week, and Liz and Frank's Pickle Barrel has got it from Dumb and Dumber. But still, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, this shit is only clever if you're a fucking moron. So that's why I feel bad for all the pro wrestling fans, because a lot of them are like, oh, this is actually all right. You know, it's like, man, you must be easily entertained because, you know, even the Brett and Goldberg thing, was it somebody that just was like, they watched Back to the Future 2 and they were like, oh yeah, there was that thing where Biff was watching whatever movie that was with Clint Eastwood, Fistful of Dollars or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was like that. Even that wasn't original. It was just from the movie of the guy watching the Western movie. They probably didn't even get it from the Western movie. They probably got it from Back to the Future 2 at Biff in the hot tub. So even then it wasn't original and it was silly.
You know what would have, I think, maybe helped this segment a little bit is Braun Breaker getting in there and getting like start fucking bumping him around. Get the fucking, you know what I mean? And then that impact and they're dead. Because you get the people, and then that because it's more of a moment. You're putting them up and you're taking it from them. Which, what does a heel do? Knows what the people want, takes it from them.
Or takes it away. Although this is a very roundabout way for a heel to get that from the, I'll just take a beating and then I'll ruin the crowd's night. Like, I'm sure he'd be fine if Braun just came in straight for the spear like he did. So he was very lucky. He was very lucky on this night.
Yeah. It's, you know, I don't know about this Grayson Waller kid. I look at him and I'm like, can I see him in there with Roman? Can I see him in there with you know, the big players in the game, the Seths? I just don't like.
He had a short program with AJ.
He did.
He went up to Raw. AJ came down to NXT. They did a little business there, and that was probably like a, hey, can you take the temperature on this kid and see if he's worth a fuck or whatever? Well, the fact that he's still in NXT, I don't know what AJ told him, but I mean, you know, draw your own conclusions. I just know that he's, from what I can see, he's trying to make lemonade. He's trying to make chicken salad. He can only work with the ingredients that he's been given. I don't blame Grayson Waller. He's doing his part. It's just that he's a victim of the entire state of the business at this point.
Yeah, you ain't lying. I think he's, but it's also like, I know how it is, or it was, when I was in FCW before NXT, and it's like, man, when somebody can cut a passable promo, you start to protect them because so many of these guys and girls are the shits. So if you can cut a passable, believable promo, it's like, okay, we're going to back pocket him because he can deliver at least that aspect and doesn't freeze up, which is another sad state of the business because everybody's getting picked up so young. There's no time for seasoning. There's no time for the business to rip your heart out, take a shit in your chest, put your heart back in, and then you still don't quit and that's when you become your best. When you don't care, when you're seasoned and you've been beat up and shot out of a cannon, there's nothing left to lose. That's when you do your best work.
Yeah. Also, you got to be on national TV right away. But
oh yeah, that's it.
You know, that's just a small thing. So, well, that's NXT. I mean, thank you for watching that. I would never willingly want to ask somebody to watch it, but I am glad that we got to talk to you, man. This was I had a lot of fun, just like I knew I would. So once again, thanks for coming and doing this with us, man.
Man, you don't thank me for nothing. You guys, let me tell you something. You guys run a smart, sharp, just very palatable, entertaining, informative show. You don't always agree, so you have good back and forth, good devil's advocate. That's great. That's what great radio is, right? Great broadcasting is not always agreeing. God dang, Ray, you are like, what a tremendous host, man. Like, you just got the goods, bro, just on top of it. Vet, you are such a good spoiler of sorts.
Yes. He's the heel.
It's gonna take a lot to get over on the vet, and that's like, and to a more sentimental point, I'm so happy, I'm so pleased, it makes my heart warm that you have found some, like, a little bit of like redemption for your wrestling journey in this medium. You know, it's so important, man, because it never leaves you. And if you're not exercising that creative muscle, you guys know, we get depressed, we get crazy. You know what I mean? So you guys are just doing a great job. It was my pleasure to do it, my honor. You guys do not disappoint ever. And I hope you'll have me back on at some point. And, you know,
100%.
Thank you so much.
You can come on next week if you want.
I mean, all right. A week or two.
I gotta say also, Tim, again, I was looking forward to working with you. I never come out and say I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous in the beginning, just a little nervous. You know, a little nervous. It happens. You know, I'm quite humble that you came on, but it was fun, man. It was, again, like talking to somebody who I've talked to 1,000 times. You make it easy, Tim. You're an expert communicator. You are so excellent. Now I'll reiterate that the fact that I say you are so excellent what you do, and you're just so likable. And not only on TV, especially when you do the stuff with Ben. I mean, working with that guy, I mean, that's the hardest job in the world, brother. But I love Ben, by the way. Anyway, thank you for coming on this show, man. You really, really, really made my week. So I appreciate you, brother, and thank you. And you can fucking come on. Actually, you know what, Vet? At the end, check this out. The end of January, I'm going to be taking a week off. Maybe if you want to work something out,
sure,
you can host it, and you and Timmy can do this for that week. I don't mean to put you on the spot, Timmy. But
no, that's fine. No, absolutely.
Because I never go anywhere. My wife, she's healing on me. So
yeah, she's at. You got it, yeah, man. Everything else topples if you don't keep that.
Yeah. Well, we don't need your life story, right? But you
you
can tell the people where they can find you if you would like.
Timmy, why don't you do that, Tim?
I'm at Timmy Baltimore on Twitter, Instagram, and you know, I do a little bit here and there, but not crazy. You can check out some of my stuff on mcwprowrestling.com or the MCW Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. We have a show on Saturday, December 30th, or Friday, December 30th. Get this, called Seasons Beatings. Never heard that one, have you?
Never.
What?
It's the first ever in this business.
It's like season greetings, but not.
It's not. Yeah, it's wrestling related.
Awesome.
Our champ is Action Andretti, who just beat Jericho last week, and he's homegrown with us at MCW. A guy named the Mecca, who you'd love him, Vet, just a throwback badass. He was in ROH for a while. Brian the Mecca Johnson. So it's gonna be a cool show. RJ Meyer Arena. If you can be there, if not, I think it'll go on Fight a week after.
Cool.
Me personally, I'm writing a memoir right now, so stay tuned. Thank you guys, man. You guys rock, man. Hameen Media Group, you guys, man. These fans, these guys are so accommodating, so wonderful, so lovely. So whatever your religion, creed, race, and life, we all come together here and talk about the guilty pleasure and the albatross around our neck that is pro wrestling, and we love it, and we just don't know why.
It's holiday gatherings all year round at Hameen Media Group.
Every fucking Wednesday.
Everyone's a drunk uncle. All right, so.
Well, Vet, and Vet not only has this medium, but he has video games. So, Vet, what are you doing next, buddy?
Oh, just type in @Opinion Haver anywhere. You Google Opinion Haver, you're going to get me in some form or fashion. All the Hameen Media Group shows, I'm on every single one of them, every last one of them. That's right, both the locker rooms, everything. I'm taking over for Stevie Richards. He can't do this shit anymore, so you'll get plenty of Vet in the future. Just @Opinion Haver everywhere, Hameen Media Group, channelattitude.com. And even on special guests like Q&A live with Rip Rogers on YouTube, you may see me there too. So just I'm not a hard man to find. I'm an easy man to miss.
That's changed because you used to be the army of two. We didn't know where you were coming from.
That's right. Well, you still don't now.
Now he's the army of one. Ladies and gentlemen, later tonight at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be jumping back on with the lovely, the beautiful, the gorgeous, the talented, the strong Miss April Hunter on the A Show. We may have, we know Colin Wysong's going to jump on, but maybe Aaron Stevens may be jumping on with us also. So it'll be me, April, Aaron, and Colin, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just search the A Show on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter. Actually, search, on Twitter. Yeah, and Twitter too. We're going to be streaming there as well. I'll be there. Follow me at Big Ray Hernandez on all social media. And in the words of my uncle Bill Apter,
we'll see you at the matches.
We will see you at the matches. I always say this. I would do this for a living, but if I couldn't, I'd do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling, and we love you too, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next week here. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, whatever the hell you celebrate.
Kevin!
Oh, yeah. We out.